The end had come. They would meet it with swords raised.
We read the penultimate book! Ooh, what's up, Internet? My name's Nerdy.
And I'm Clarus.
And this is The Nerdy.
The Wordy.
The Book Club. Towers of Midnight full book recap. The final episode of the penultimate book in the series The Wheel of Time by Robert Jordan and his Smee. His Elder Cunningham, if you will. Brandon Sanderson.
Shmee.
Smee.
Shmee.
Smee.
Shmee.
Smee.
I'm sorry. That is, I will not allow that in this household.
I am sorry, but which one of us understudied Captain Hook in the 2019 Christmas production of the Fulton's Peter Pan?
It was definitely me. Are you kidding? I'd make a killer Captain Hook.
I would actually watch that show.
Right?
And me as Smee.
that would actually be pretty great.
Me, full beard, Peter Pan.
No. That's
Second
weird.
star on the right and straight on till morning.
You know, I don't doubt you could do the voice, but I don't think people would buy it. Arzu, thank you so much for 5 gifted memberships.
Thank you for 5 gifted members.
How's it going? I couldn't decide whether to read the last line of the book or the last line of the prophecy, but I just thought that let the screams begin, O followers of the shadow, beg for your destruction was a really dark way to start the book club.
That's hot.
You know? Okay,
Kinky.
sure.
Yeah. All right, so there's a lot of housekeeping at the top of the show. As you might have noticed, I'm wearing those pieces of Roleplay Relay merch, which you can buy in our Fourth Wall store if you want to go check that out.
We have merch.
We start in 8 days. Therefore, it should be known.
Countdown.
It should be known, chat, that there is no book club next week. And there's mostly because there won't be any technology here. It will all have been moved to the other house.
It won't be possible.
It will all be moved after your... Are you streaming on Wednesday next week?
Question mark.
There will not be a book club next week, and there will not be a book club the week after that. Monkey, if you're here, can you let us know if there is a split yet for Memory of Light?
No,
because
we have to decide if we want to do 6 or 7.
Well, basically, the second Friday of August, we will start Memory of Light. I believe it's August 11th. But you're all smart enough to figure out what a Friday is.
Yeah. Whatever that may be.
Nicholas Cardillo, thank you for the super chat. Off topic, thanks for the One Piece reaction. Meantime, that's the second piece of housekeeping. Not only do we have a roleplay relay going on, I just started watching One Piece over on my channel, Nerdy. The reason it's not on the main channel is because I was like, I'm going to react to One Piece. And I swear to God, I got 35 messages across all social media and Patreon being like, be careful. They do be litigious about that show. And so in order to protect the main channel here, that's always going to be there. But when those go live, there will be a community post letting you know that it is up on that channel. Go subscribe. That channel is gained 300 subscribers overnight.
It's growing.
And so when that gets to 1,000, maybe I will try and monetize those. Although maybe that would get that channel shut down. So we'll see. I'm going to do my best. I want to keep reacting to the show because I really liked episode 1. And One Piece, not made by the AMPTP, which is brings us into housekeeping number 3.
Number 3, we're on strike.
We're on strike, or at least I am, technically.
I'm in solidarity.
Yes.
Because I'm not a member of SAG-AFTRA. If you have questions about all of that, there is a video on the channel that you can watch, which should answer most of them. I believe at the time that we made the video, they hadn't been clear on whether or not we could, do past struck work from the companies, and so that's a little bit unclear. The consensus on that is if it were to have been made today by those companies, it is considered struck work. And so that is why there was no reaction to the Wheel of Time trailer, which made us very sad. It was very strange.
We're not going to talk too much about the strike today, but if you want to ask us questions about the strike, come back Monday morning, same time. We're going to be doing a nightly morning show, and we will answer all of your questions. We'll answer anything. That's what the Monday show's for, is to talk with y'all, to talk with each other. So if you want to know more about the strike, we will talk about it then. In regards to the trailer, I hope that everyone's happy.
If you want to chat about it, our private Discord server is kind of the only place we're doing that, because we are not promoting it on this channel.
And will not. though, if you are a member of the Patreon, you might see some stuff that the public won't see until the strike is over.
Yes.
Because that's not a public forum. That is our private forum, and we don't consider that promotion. So, and also we need to keep our editor employed because I don't want the strike. I don't believe in like, well, we're striking, so you lose your job. So, that takes care of that. Other oh my God, there's so much housekeeping. Did you set up those alerts?
Couldn't figure out how to make it work.
Then never mind.
Yeah. It is what it is.
Atanba says the second channel already has more than 1K. Not the second channel. This is like the fourth channel. Because the second channel,
there's a few channels.
It's complicated.
I have 2 channels. We have a channel. You have a channel. Then we've got like the Morning Show Clips channel. There's a lot.
Oh, no, you're right.
Oh,
it hit 1,000.
You're right. Congrats.
Thank you. Let's go. Thank you, everyone, for getting my nerdy channel to 1,039 subscribers.
Lodpole, thank you so much for that super chat. It's been a weird week for us, too.
Yeah.
Trust me.
They said I completely understand why, but it has been an odd week without reactions. The good news is that there's going to be plenty of reactions in August. We're going to be doing Vinland Saga.
I don't know.
Anime.
My vote's kind of for Violet Evergarden.
We're going to be doing Violet Evergarden as well. We're just going to be watching... Guys, we're going to watch so much anime. It's going to be crazy.
Depends on how much time we have. But we're going to try to...
We've already said Vinland Saga, and I think that the people are clamoring.
You said Vinland Saga.
I know, but the people are clamoring. Mm-hmm. We got to give... This channel has been built on one idea, and it is when people clamor for things, we tend to do them. And the people are clamoring for some Vinland Saga. So, yeah. But having said all of that, and without the ability to talk about the trailer publicly, because I really... Guys, the strike means a lot to me, and I'm taking it very seriously. So that's the last we're going to talk about it on the video. Sorry about that. I know I would love to break it down, but you want to know what I would love even more? I would love for contracts from the AMPTP that allow people to live their lives and to pay their rent and to afford dog food. And also human food. Because human food in LA is expensive.
Yeah, and like real food, like, you shouldn't have to live off Mr. Noodles every day unless you want to, in which case go for it.
Yeah. Aldan, thank you for that super chat.
Thank you so much, guys.
I commend you guys for your integrity with the strike thing, although after the last couple of years, I would expect no less. I'm glad we're consistent.
Yes.
I might not even agree with your position, but the integrity, it's why I'm here. You don't...
We love the integrity.
I don't know what you mean. Do you mean you don't agree with our position that we should have a fair contract?
I think that's...
Or do you mean our position about the books?
It sounds like a hypothetical.
Okay.
Like, even if I didn't, agree with you, you are consistent in, what your, values and
Fair.
Are.
Okay. I read that and I was like, are you saying that you don't think that I should be fair to pay a fair wage?
Yeah, no.
While you give me money? That would be such a weird... You don't deserve to make money. Just tossing it at me?
No, I think it's more of a, general, we don't all have to agree on everything, but appreciate your consistency in being you, kind of. Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay. Exalted Clown. Thank you for being a member for 14 months.
Thank you. Welcome back to the Nerd Table.
Exalted Clown says, I voted for one letter. We're finally talking about Wheel of Time. It's only been 8 minutes. We're good.
That's
this
fine.
Is barely a nightly.
We're crushing it right now, okay?
I voted for one letter, but I found on page 164 of the audiobook, Matt says he'll have to send her another letter, stronger this time. We were wrong, Nerdy. No. We were not. He says that he never sends that letter. He says he'll have to send her another letter. He is thinking hypothetically, oh no.
He wrote a letter and didn't send it?
No, he never writes a letter. He sends a letter, and then he doesn't get a response for a while because Harfer puts it in a box. And then Matt thinks, I'm going to have to send another letter, strongly worded this time. And then he never has to send that letter because they get called in that time.
No,
that is the events as they happen. That is the events as they happen in the book.
No.
He never sits down and writes the strongly worded letter.
That's it. I am tweeting at Brandon Sanderson.
If there were 2 letters,
right now,
if it was the second letter, in it he would wrote, I wrote you one damn letter, but you didn't read it.
Brandon,
there is simply no way he
Brandon
wrote that is the second letter, and he didn't reference the first letter in that letter.
Our book club can't seem to agree. Did Matt write...
Brandon Sanderson is going to have no fucking clue what you're asking about.
Letter to Elaine in Towers of Midnight. The people need to know. That's what I'm tweeting. If you want to go retweet it, feel free.
There is nothing that makes for better audio content than somebody slowly exclaiming the tweet as they write it.
Well, I can't type that fast, okay? I said, Brandon Sanderson, our book club can't seem to agree. Did Matt write more than one letter to Elaine in Towers of Midnight? The people need to know. They're fucking sending that shit.
He's going to have literally no idea what you're talking about.
No.
Brandon Sanderson does not remember.
He's gonna know. Okay, I did it.
Brandon Sanderson is going to have to, like, go back and read the book again because there's no chance in hell he remembers.
Yeah.
This minute detail that does not matter that we've been fighting about for 3 weeks.
It matters to me, okay? It matters a lot.
The man called Lev, thank you for that super chat.
Thank you for the super chat.
Just checking in for a moment at work. I love that 10 minutes in, it's already down to the number of letters law. Looking forward to watching later.
Damn it.
But, could Matt have written enough letters to blow a man-sized hole in how far a horse can travel in a day? You know what I mean?
If a horse leaves the station at 10:59 p.m. and a Matt blows a hole with a man-sized hole with fireworks.
Okay, so
how many IEL
can you
does
tweet
it take
at Sarah Nakamura
to get
and
to
be
the
like,
center of a Tootsie Pop? Fucking hate it here.
In Rafe Judkins' adaptation of The Wheel of Time, how many letters will Matt send Elaine in season 6?
These are the important questions.
These are the important questions.
The things we need to know.
All right, everybody. You know why you're here. We know why we're here. We're here because y'all asked some questions in the Discord, and it's time to full book recap. The way we full book recap here is we don't really recap. It's really just us. We answer your questions about The Wheel of Time.
Yeah, but we talk about things that happen throughout the book, so it's like a full book recap.
It's my favorite episode of the book club every time, and it's y'all's least favorite, and I understand that. But this is so much less stressful to me than trying to remember the events in order.
I honestly think that this is always like a great refresher before moving on to the next book. Personally,
100%.
You know what we should bring back? I think you should summarize the events of the book in 60 seconds or less.
Did we do that?
We did, like, we tried to do, like, summaries. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
I think I did it once. And I think it was for, like, book 2 or 3 or something like that. Or maybe it was 4. I don't remember. But it was great. Chat loved it.
I don't know that I could.
I know. There is a lot that happens.
Like, I don't remember where this book starts.
Yeah.
Oh, because Perrin is still in the past. This is the book where Perrin catches up to the present.
Yeah, that also makes it a lot more difficult.
Oh my God. Mm-hmm. Could I even, in 60 seconds?
It's a challenge.
Everybody finally gets together at the Fields of Marilor in the same timeline, except Matt, who is on the bank of a river with Elaine, who he pulled out of a tower because she was hanging nude in the hot springs.
What?
Yeah.
What?
All of that's true.
When was Elaine in the hot springs?
Moraine.
You said Elaine.
Oh, no. Moraine was nude in the hot springs, and they saved her. Noel died. Oliver is the fucking worst. Andor's falling because Varen thought that Matt was reliable, which is fucking hilarious. A lot of other things happened.
Yeah. Great summary. You know what? You fucking crushed it. I expect no less.
A lot of things happen in this book, okay? Calm the fuck down.
I'm not disagreeing with you.
Calm down.
How are your overall feelings for the book?
Same as last week.
Yeah.
Things have, even like sitting thinking about the book for a while, nothing's really changed for me. Mm-hmm. I think I would still put it, like, I think it is, like, probably, like, in the, like, 5 to 7, not like out of 10. I mean, like, out of, like, Wheel of Time books.
The Wheel of Time books.
It, like, sits in, like, that area, right? Mm-hmm. Where, like, it's not quite... it doesn't have the, like, lofty, like, wonderfulness of Shadow Rising or Gathering Storm, or Dragon Reborn, or, my favorites of the series. Mm-hmm. But I think it's like, it's right above the middle, which I think is Fires of Heaven, which I think is, like, the middle of the Wheel of Time.
Okay. But that's still, like, around, like, an 8 out of 10-ish.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, I would give it, like, an 8.25.
Cool. I think I rank this book a little bit higher than you do.
Yeah.
But it's not my favorite, and I do think I like Gathering Storm a little bit better. But my favorite, I think, still is and will always be Shadow Rising.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's tough to beat. I think that the last battle could come close because it's such because it's the accumulation of everything that's happened. Mm-hmm. But in terms of like the structure of the novel, I don't know what it is about Shadow Rising, but they just fucking nailed it, you know?
Jefferson Williams, thank you for that super chat. Get ready, they say. Memory of Light is a 1,000-page action sequence, lol. Can't wait.
Love that.
Can't wait.
We need to decide if we're opening up reactions for the final book, because we weren't planning on getting to that for months. But now we're getting to it.
I don't know. I feel like we're going to be broke after the relay, so yes, we probably will open up.
Great. Okay.
It depends on how much money the relay makes.
We'll figure that out.
You know what? No, that's not true. It depends on how little money the relay loses.
Yeah.
I can't imagine we're going to profit.
No, but that's fine. I wasn't expecting to. Kenny, thank you as well for that super chat.
Kenny, thank you so much. Kenny Theology was the one who took the Kickstarter pledge to name our big bad evil guy.
Well done on that, by the way.
And so the Bugbear Emperor will be named Scruffalopagus the Unscaped.
Love it.
Thank you for that,
I'm
Kenny.
here for it.
I'm so excited to have our players try and take down Scruffalopagus, the evil big bad Bugbear Emperor.
Kenny also says Maria Simons is more of the encyclopedia of Team Jordan. Maybe she has a Twitter. Maybe.
All right, I'll have to reach out.
Find out.
Arazu, thank you so much for that super chat. I just want to tell you guys not to start reading Amel after this book club because I plan to commission a reaction to the prologue.
Okay. Cool.
Fine.
Good to know.
Twist my arm, why don't you?
Yeah, it's fine. We have stuff to do immediately after book club anyway, so that works out just fine. Thank you for the heads up.
Theology. Thank you for that super chat.
Thank you for another super chat.
Maria Simons is more of an wait. We did this once, Kenny.
Yeah, I think Kenny didn't add like the text to their previous super chat, so they sent another one. So thank you for that.
Thank you for that super chat.
We'll go into that on Twitter. I'll figure that out.
Yeah, I think that I think that in my like, if I were reviewing Towers of Midnight, I would say that it is very like functionally good at getting the story to where it needs to be for the final book, and is not necessarily the best book on its own.
Sure.
Whereas I think that Gathering Storm was a little bit stronger as its own novel, and so I think.
Whereas like this is more of like a really good piece to the puzzle.
Yeah, it's just it's a lot of it's like a cog in the wheel, but it's not front facing.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's one of the motors that's in the back of the watch that makes the thing tick.
Yeah.
But it isn't like on the face of the watch.
Gotcha.
But sometimes you need that, right? In a series, especially a series this big, and a sereries that I think got a little bit bloated in terms of how many main storylines were going on. There was time that needed to be spent trimming off the ones of those that weren't going anywhere.
Yeah.
And I think that this book did. It ended some of the stuff that just didn't really have anything left in the tank.
Yeah.
And sometimes doing that, sometimes taking a book and like, you know, not tanking a book, but like saying like, this doesn't have to be the greatest thing ever because it has to do the functional job of moving things out of the way for the next book. Yeah. I think is really important.
Yeah. Absolutely. Especially when you're playing like the long game and you're not just writing a
The prologue is 3 hours long.
Oh my God.
Okay. We'll see. Arzu will have a conversation.
We'll have a chat.
So I don't know if I can do 3 hours. That's a fucking. We've never reacted to a 3-hour thing, and that sounds hard.
We reacted to RRR. You know what I mean? So I don't know if that's that much different. Yeah, as long as you don't mind me like reading along during the reactions, it's fine. I definitely need to have the book there to help me like visualize. That's just
you know what? Maybe if we do it, I'll paint during it.
Oh, you'll keep your hands busy?
Yeah, I think that part of the problem...
That's the ADHD thing of, like, I need
Well, and I think part of the problem with the audiobook reactions is specifically there's nothing to look at.
Yes.
And so I'm just kind of, like, sitting here, like...
Yes.
Listening. And so I think that if I just had, like, a little mini to paint...
That's why I love
nice.
having the audiobooks on while I'm editing. because the editing takes no brain power. It's just visual and clicking, and so I can have the audio going on at the same time. That'd be fun if we like painted minis while we like reacted to it. I think
I'd be down for that.
Yeah, that would have to happen before the relay. Well, actually, it doesn't matter.
No, we could do it before the relay. I think that like because we have so much painting that needs to get done. We're gonna spend that time anyway.
That's true.
I'd be down for that.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah.
That actually sounds like a lot of fun to me.
Yeah, maybe that's how we'll do it because it is 3 hours.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into the questions because we have to start answering some dang questions about the Wheel of Time. Do you feel like you said what you wanted to about Towers of Midnight?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go into Colonel Sanders here, who gets the first question in, but it's their second question, so they deleted a question, which means they might have a third question that's actually their first question later on. We'll get to it. Outside of the Sanshin not being handled according to your desires, we already know your thoughts on this, what would be the thing that might ruin the ending for you? Ooh.
The thing that might ruin the ending for me is if, like, Tuon is like, yeah, I'm a slaver, and I fix all the problems. No,
they said not the Sanshin.
Oh, not the Sanshin.
They already know how we feel about the Sanshin.
Not being handled. So, okay, so other than Tuon stuff, what could ruin the ending?
Yeah, because we made it clear that, like, depending on how Tuon's handled, it could be a black mark on the series, for
That's fair. What could ruin the... Honestly, if the ending was that, like, everybody died, that would kind of suck.
Yeah, I also think that, like, if the ending is that Avienda's vision from the Aiel future is just a fact, would be really weird. And
like, if there's nothing they can do to change it?
Yeah, if that's just, like, the reality of the world. And Avienda, like, dies in the last battle, realizing that, like, she's doomed her people.
Yeah.
But what? And like, if the series ends with like, yeah, the Aiel are doomed forever, but like, maybe it was worth it because and like the Sanshin are gonna take over, but it was worth it because the Dark One didn't. I'd just be kind of like, I don't think it's that, obviously, because
no, me neither. I also wouldn't love if Moraine died again. Like, I feel like that would be like a really weird cop out. But other than that, I'm down for kind of whatever.
It really, like, it would be, it's hard for, like, an individual thing to ruin an ending. I'm pretty forgiving of, like, there's definitely series where I'm like, I don't like how that thing ended, but, like, it doesn't, as long as some things get a good ending, and not even necessarily a positive ending, but just, like, an ending that I can understand and that that leaves room for there to be a future, right? If it's just apocalyptic, like, what's the point? Why did we go on this journey for that?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that one of the things about the Wheel of Time that's a little bit tough for me is that I don't think that there's a great, like, lesson. Well, one thing I like about endings like what we're headed to is when the characters have a really strong perspective on what has been wrong with their society and how in their victory they can perpetuate some sort of change to that. Mm-hmm. And the kind of interesting thing about the Wheel of Time is that there isn't really a lot of cultural issue that can't in some way be tied back to Ishamael. Like, it's like the issues are, rather than being
the evil.
But it's not about, like, the evil in man's hearts leading them to the Dark One.
Yeah.
It is about there being evil people who are, like, using compulsion and stuff. And so I don't really know what Rand can pass on to the next generation. But I'm hopeful that the books find something. I don't really see the, like, seeds of that yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. Aldan, thank you so much for that super duper chat. Let's go. Guys, congrats on reaching here. Okay, I've been meaning to say this for a while. For the last book, I know you will get audio reaction requests. I strongly suggest you read the book inside your own head first. It comes but once. I actually don't mind, like, reading along with stuff, and, like, the part of the reason that this is a show and we're not just, like, just reading the books on our own is the community experience of it. Mm-hmm. And the fact that you guys love the audiobooks reaction so much is an influence in that. So I think we're going to try and find, like, a good balance that works for everybody in terms of how we handle the last book.
Kyle Franson, thank you for that super chat. Strike Fund.
Hell yeah.
Solidarity forever, friends.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, we are on strike. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I hear what Aldana's saying there. I like listening to the audiobook with you. Yeah. I think, like, I hear what you're saying about hearing it in your own voice, but I don't read in my own voice anyway. So that's not really a thing for me.
Yeah.
Although I don't read these books in Michael Kramer and Kate Redding's voices, but I have some weird voices in my head for this.
Love it.
And they change. One of the things that I find really interesting is that some people will be like, oh yeah, like I always hear the same voice for it. Mm-hmm. And I tend to hear the voices of things I've listened to recently. Mm. So I hear a lot of when I read, I hear a lot of podcasters. I read a lot of books in Kevin Smith's voice, which sounds crazy, but I just listen to his podcast a lot. And so his voice is just in my head a lot.
Yeah.
Same with like Jason Inman and Ashley Victoria Robinson from Geek History Lesson and Michael Barbaro from The Daily. Those are kind of the voices I hear in my head when I'm reading, and maybe that's like unhinged.
That is hilarious.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, my favorite is when I have when I'm reading Rand and I have Kevin Smith in my head, and Rand just sounds like a 6-year-old stoner.
That's so interesting because I don't hear voices when I'm reading. Like, the words don't have, like, a voice to them.
See, now that sounds insane to me. You just have, like, nothing going on? You're just, like, ones and zeros?
Ones and zeros? No, it's just, like, they're just words that don't have... They don't really have other people's, I guess, like, tonality and inflection to them. They kind of just have... I guess my own in a certain way, but more just, it's more just, like, generic.
Do you not, like... picture the scene happening? Like, do you not, like, visualize it all?
I'm not a very, like, I'm not a strong, like, visualizer.
Okay.
While I'm reading. I also, like, have a hard time, like, picturing things in, like, 3-dimension. I'm like, I like, see, I see in, like, words, I think. I don't
Sorry, I don't want to stop you. Just before this goes away, Jim Fern, thank you for that super chat.
Thank you so much for that super chat.
Said a bit late, but this teachers union diehard is with you. Union strong.
Thank you.
Let's go. Take down the fucking billionaires.
Yeah, we love our teachers.
Embry says actually they all died from the island from Lost, and this is the really bad place.
Oh my fucking god. I would
if this is all a dream.
I would burn the books. I would commit blasphemy and burn the books.
Sorry, what were you saying about how you read?
I don't know how to describe it. Like, I don't really think in pictures.
Mm-hmm.
I think in feelings and words.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
No.
Great.
But like that's
I love that.
but it's your thing, and so I can't. I'm not gonna take it away from you.
Well, and like brains are so weird. Like
they are.
Like there's a million different ways out there to like process and interpret information, and not even to understand information, but just for your brain. I don't know. It's too complicated for me. I'm not smart enough to dive into that. But like, yeah, I don't visualize in pictures.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense.
All right.
Yeah.
Colonel Sanders' second question. We're one question in, and we're 28 minutes in.
Love that for
This
us.
is the nightly nerdy booky wordy show.
Sorry, what was that? Can you say that again?
I don't know that I can. I think I said the nightly nerdy booky Wookie for show.
I honestly don't know. Like, I feel like I had a stroke, and so I can't actually tell you the words that came out of your mouth. Someone can clip that, and we can find out later.
Okay. All right, Colonel Sanders asks, what do you hope for most in the final book? A foursome. Rand and his three ladies. I want a daisy chain of mouths on genitalia.
This is not Smut Corner.
I don't give a shit. Video's not going to be monetized anyway.
That's true. We don't really make money off of ads for a lot of our content because we're too raunchy.
Because Pampers doesn't want to promote their Pampers next to our Pamper Talk.
I don't understand why not, because like the adults had to have had sex to get the baby in most cases. So
yeah, it's not like you're like marketing Pampers to children.
Yeah, kids are not buying their own diapers.
Well, okay,
usually.
No, we shouldn't say that. Some places in the States, man.
You know what? That's true.
Anything else you're hoping for in the final book other than just some really great smut?
What am I hoping for? I like have like strong desires for what I want a thing to be if I trust the author less.
Okay.
If that makes sense. But I really trust like Sanderson and Jordan's collaboration here to knock it out of the park. And so I'm kind of more just like along for the ride than I am trying to turn it into a thing that I want it to be, if that makes sense. But I really want the like realization of like that having like one gender be in charge of things is maybe not the best way to run a society. You know, like they kind of come back around to like Age of Legends stuff where it was like more equal
balance in the force.
Balance in the force, yeah. That is my hope.
You are the chosen one.
You were meant to destroy the Sith, not join them. What?
Your Obi-Wan is hilarious.
Thank you.
You were meant to destroy the Sith, not join them.
Feels like the South Park version, you know.
It feels like the Muppets version.
The Muppets version.
If Obi-Wan was on the Muppets, Anakin, you are the chosen one.
Hello there. Sorry, I don't know where that came from.
Oh my god. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, Carl Sanders, something else I'm hoping for. One other thing that I'm hoping for from the last book, a serious answer. I'm gonna say that I hope that Demandred fucking rocks. You know what I mean? I hope he's just a killer villain, because fuck, I don't care about anybody else. You know what? I hope Patton Fane's, like, no. I hope Patton Fane has some fucking, like, ending to his arc. Because where did he go?
I fucking
Cotton Eye Joe. You know what I mean?
Somewhere in the Blight.
He truly is the Cotton Eye Joe of this series.
Maybe he's the one fighting
because if he hadn't been for Cotton Eye Joe, Rand had been married a long time ago.
Would he?
Where did he come from? Where did he go?
Well, we know where he came from.
No, we don't.
Yeah, he's like a dude, and the Dark One took him away to Shire Ghul and did some
not where
lobotomy. And
none of that is where he came from. Yeah. Where did he come from?
What do you mean?
Where is he from?
Like what town?
I love that you started your answer to, yeah, we know where he's from. He's just a dude.
He's just a peddler dude. Yeah, he's a nomad, roamer.
Arzu, thank you for that super chat.
Thank you, Arzu.
One vote for making an extra large igloo in the middle of the fields of Marilor.
Yeah, I'm into it. Extra large igloo for 4, please.
I don't know if you want an igloo. I don't know if you want a sex igloo that's melting on you.
Yeah,
that seems awful.
You'd have to have some kind of magic to stop the dripping. Because that would just be, like, you're, like, in the middle of it and, like, just, like, cold, like, drip onto your back. Would be
I don't know. In most sexual
like,
scenarios I'm in, I want things to keep dripping, but...
not cold water, though. Like, the temperature is just too much of a shock. Like, that's not pleasant. That's not pleasant.
Oh, my God. This show is such a fucking disaster.
This show? Never.
Oh, my God.
See, Fane is from Lugar. Thank you. So he came from Lugar.
Yeah, I'm glad chat knew that, but you know who didn't? Claris motherfucking Polaris.
Who is shocked?
He asks, these names aren't here.
You gotta make the Discord bigger for that. Can you hide that bar on the side of who's online? Does that go away?
No.
Well, you gotta make Discord bigger then.
Nope.
Oh, why is it doing that?
I don't know.
Wait, make it bigger and let it go. See if that makes a difference.
Nope. Some people's names do not get bigger.
What the fuck? Why?
Oh, they might have, like, private account? No, but this is Iltram.
Oh, is it because you're on streamer mode? Disable that. See what happens. There you go.
Oh, I did not know that happened.
It's like a privacy thing.
Yeah, Discord was trying to protect y'all's information.
That makes sense.
Early Ann says, who is your favorite of the living great captains? Agilmar Jagad, Gareth Bryn, Davram Bashir, or Rodel Iturralde? That's so hard.
Look, I think that Rodel gets the most, like... is the freshest in our minds with the most, like, badass moments, right? Like, we
I don't know about that. Gareth Bryn took out a fucking blood knife after he wooed the Amerlin seat into marriage.
I just mean
by being a grumpy old man.
I just mean in terms of the, like, captaining, like, leading a battle, like, strategizing, like...
Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna have to go with Bryn.
Okay.
Personally, I think like if you can fucking like melt the walls around Swan Sancha and get that woman to fall in love with you, fuck. The Dark One doesn't stand a chance.
You done good. I think I'm gonna go with Bashir just because like his relationship with his family is really interesting, and he's had to put up with Rand's bullshit for the longest. So
wait, so you're
to him.
Choosing Bashir like as like a pity vote?
No, I think like him as a character is super interesting because of the relationships that he has.
Kenny Challenge, thank you for that super chat. Shaidar Haran sponsors the 4-way to further torture Lanfear.
That would check out, yeah.
Makes sense. Yeah. Makes sense. Rob Ross Pooh Bear, thank you for asking a question. It is, you'll be hitting your 2-year mark this November in your Wheel of Time journey from reacting to the series and starting the book club. Despite how the series ends, what are your thoughts on the journey in life you've had because of the books? Wow, that's a big question. That's like, we could do a whole podcast about that.
We probably will after the series is over.
We could do a whole, like, that's like an episode of a podcast.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I like being rich.
Wow.
No, we're not rich, but seriously, like the
book club has kind of allowed us to really make like the content like a full-time thing and not have to worry about anything else, like and use it to pivot into other stuff. Like it's really helped cultivate this incredible community.
Yeah, when I say rich, I do not mean we're not that wealthy, but we are in a position where my job title is YouTuber, and that's not a joke. Like, yeah. I make more money making content than I have ever made at any other job in my life. And I'm not saying that to brag. I'm saying that to be grateful.
Because we've been poor actors our whole life.
Well, and like, if I was making like $700 a week at a restaurant, I was pretty happy. Yeah. Right? And I was barely getting by.
Yeah.
And
especially in a place like New York.
Well, and especially because like I was always like my whole life, and Clarice and I were actually talking about this yesterday. Because she was like, you don't what was it in context of? We're like, I don't want to go to a therapist.
Oh.
And the reason,
yeah.
Not that she was like trying to push me to, but we were talking about it, and I was like, the reason why we live in Canada now, and it is so hard to get me to go see a doctor about anything. Like, things have to become such a massive problem for me to go deal with them.
Because you're traumatized from not having health care.
Well, because I lived in the States for 10 years, and 7 of those years I didn't have health insurance, and I was poor. And so for a long time, like, the choice for me financially was, do I go to work sick? And that was the choice, right? Because the other options were stay home and try and get better and lose my job, which I can't afford to do because my rent is $1,200 a month and I have to pay $700 in student loan fees every month, or in like my, paying back my student loans. And I have a phone and I have internet and, like life, right? My Metro card and all that. Mm-hmm. And so I got to the point where like I literally couldn't afford to go to the doctor, right? And so I just got conditioned to be like, oh, just fucking deal with it.
Yeah.
And like I dealt with it, and I did that for years. And like even now, like to be at this point where like YouTube is a legitimate thing that I do, that like we still don't really have a savings account, but like we have enough money that like I'm not like actively in a position of. I was telling you yesterday, I used to check my bank account every time I paid for anything.
Yeah. Like
literally every tap, every swipe, every insert. I checked my bank account because I was so nervous about what I had, even if it was like 5 minutes later at like the next thing down the road.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think that like Wheel of Time started us down the path to this position we're in, where I really like am so genuinely grateful to everybody.
Yeah.
And has put us in a position where we can produce the role play relay, right?
Yeah.
Like
it let us move out of the apartment that was killing you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, we had enough money to get out of the apartment when I was like violently ill.
Yeah, we had to break our lease and we had to find a place within days because you were so sick. And like we couldn't have done that without book club. Mm-hmm. Like truly. And that, I don't know, that seems crazy, but like book club has changed our entire lives for the better.
Yeah, because Wheel of Time was the start. Wheel of Time was where like our YouTube views pivoted towards something that like was a viable option, and pivoted our mindset away from grinding on Twitch and being a little bit like, I'll eat a cockroach. Anything for money.
Yeah.
That is kind of like the Twitch mindset of having to like kind of like debase yourself a little bit in order to get money to come in. And that's not me shitting on Twitch people. And I think that there's wonderful content being made over there.
That stuff can be fun, like that. Yeah, that's not like shitting on it.
But like I remember like when I did the 36-hour stream, like I literally like became ill
food poisoning
because we were so broke and I was trying to come up with a way for us to pay rent that month. And like I did like this crazy stream to make money because we were literally like, we had just moved to Toronto, we had nothing. And then
everything shut down. Yep.
And we were making a few $100 a month on Twitch, but we were mostly just surviving off of our wedding money for a while.
Yeah.
And then I did that crazy stream and I was like, I was not well.
No, I had to come in and take over for a while.
And so it's this like weird level of gratefulness that I feel towards book club because it pivoted my mindset to YouTube. It like pivoted my mindset to really putting the effort into the YouTube.
Yeah.
And now like, we just passed 50,000 subscribers, and between YouTube and Patreon, like we're comfortable and we're doing good. And I just feel really, really lucky.
We're able to make our own content like the roleplay relay. Like it's, yeah.
But literally not like, as much as I complain about the Wheel of Time sometimes in the books, my life right now would not exist without this series.
Yeah.
And without the fandom around it and without this book club and, this community.
Yeah.
And I even when I'm complaining about like the Sanchin or whatever, I do know deep in my soul how grateful I am to you all and what it means to me that we started on this journey and that we're nearing the end of it.
I can't believe we're nearing the end of it. Like that's crazy to me. Yeah. I'm just also so incredibly grateful that I was able to bring reading back into my life because I read so much when I was in high school, and when I moved out I just didn't have the time, and like making the time for it has brought me so much joy. Like fantasy has always been like my first love, and so I will always be incredibly grateful to the show and to the books for like bringing that back into my life.
Yeah.
And to all of you guys, so thank you.
Joe White, thank you so much for being a member.
Thank you
for 2 months,
and thank you as well for 5 gifted memberships.
Thank you so much.
Let's freaking go.
Not yucking your yum, they say, but aren't Alain and Avienda effectively sisters now, born from the same womb, albeit via the one power? Look, I think
not really. Like
I think that is dependent on how you view it, and to me, I just am like, if step siblings are gonna be the hottest thing in porn, why can't they be the hottest thing in Randland? That's all I'm saying.
I mean, it is the most viewed category.
And to my actual stepsisters, I'm so fucking kidding. Live your life.
I honestly don't see Elaine and Avienda as sisters because they didn't grow up together and they are not biologically related, even though they have this like intrinsic connection now that is like magical. Like unless it literally went back and like rewrote their DNA to be related to one another, it actually doesn't even matter because they can't have children together. So there's no danger in it. So fucking go for it. Go to town.
Yeah. Artizu, thank you so much for that super chat.
Thank you
Your
so
stories
much.
make me choke up. Lots of hugs. No, lots of hugs for you guys.
You guys.
This is not Blue. Blue, fuck off.
Somebody stop.
Somebody take away Blue's credit card.
Blue, thank you for...
Blue, thank you. Seriously.
Memberships. I swear to God, one day this chat is going to just be all green. Like... Well, actually, that depends on if you have memberships enabled.
Yeah, you have to turn them on.
You have to manually do that. But yeah.
The one thing I will say is Wheel of Time. We're not done with Wheel of Time when we finish with the books because.
Oh God, no, we're not done.
I am doing my Trolloc Wars TTRPG.
Yeah, we're doing a TTRPG. We want to kind of have several discussions about the world as a whole, right?
Yeah.
You know, not do exactly what Dusty Wheel does, but like go in and do some podcasts with the full knowledge of the books behind it, and maybe explore specific themes or moments and stuff like that. So we've got the TTRPG, we've got that coming along.
The game. I want to play the video game.
Yeah, there's the video game.
So those streams will be happening.
We also want to do...
Blue doesn't own a credit card.
That can't...
How did you get a house?
Yeah, how do you have credit? Anyways, what the fuck? That doesn't make sense to me. Fat Boo...
I'm convinced Blue is like Brad Pitt and Mr. and Mrs. Smith now. You know what I mean? Like, he's like, I don't have a credit card, but then he, like, goes into a secret compartment in his wall and picks up, like, his other passport. And he's like, well, this identity does.
This works for me. And we also want to do the Wheel of Time mod for the Civilization game.
Right.
I really, really, really want to do that, okay? So after the books, we're not done with Wheel of Time content. I promise you that.
The Trolloc Wars TTRPG thing is the thing I'm most excited about. I have some really fun ideas for some Terangrial magic items. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it pretty hardcore. It's gonna be something. The problem is gonna be finding people who have read the books.
Unless you live hardcore.
Because I want people who like know the world a little bit.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Even though it will take place during like the time of Manetheren.
Yeah. We'll probably try and recruit Ellen. Fabu, thank you for the super chat. You know we love you and we appreciate everything that you do.
Blue says you need to do the Wheel of Time mod for Skyrim.
Isn't that just like a follower mod? Like you just like it's like a couple weapons and a follower?
I'm not gonna lie. If there was like a full on Wheel of Time Skyrim mod, that might get me to play Skyrim again.
Okay, let's go. Trintron, thank you. Welcome back to the nerd table. This is the most fun I've had reading the books. Could you give us a place to be together in this experience? None of this happens without you both. Well, thank you so much. I really cannot express how much it means. But we are only one piece of the puzzle. You guys are also a huge piece of that, and we appreciate you a lot.
Yeah, Fabu Moose, thank you for that super chat.
You all right?
Yeah.
What?
Things are good.
Things are good. Things are good. I love to hear that.
Just good news.
Good news.
Yeah, we have a copy of that thing.
Ah, cool.
You can't say it out loud.
No one heard that.
Oh my god.
No one heard that.
Traintron, thank you for being a member.
Yes.
You read that one, right?
I did.
Kieran, thank you for being a member. All right, we have to keep reading questions.
Welcome to the nerd
But
table.
to end that one, thank you. Literally, we are in the position that we're in because of you guys, and we are incredibly grateful for what you have made possible in our lives. And we have an employee, not full time, but like a part time, like a freelance employee.
Yeah.
I guess not technically employee. We have a
contractor.
Associate. I don't know. But we literally pay him. And that feels so cool to be to have this company support another person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's get into Wheel of Time's Bedbond Balefire, Androlf, Jane Fairstrider, and Nakomi. Have fun figuring that out.
Who's Androl again?
Androl is the really cool Ashaman who can make bigger gateways than his power should allow.
Yeah.
Blue made an offer YouTube couldn't refuse.
that checks out. I mean, look, I would probably...
It's a full quest mod with Avienda as a follower.
Oh, so it's a quest. Okay, I mean, that sounds fun, to be honest. I would definitely,
Wait, before we move on from that.
Yes?
Would you do it as Rand with Avienda as your follower, or Elaine with Avienda as your follower?
Oh, I would be Elaine. Yeah.
Do a little magic.
I would get a pregnancy mod.
Pew pew.
Because someone has made it. Someone has made it, okay?
I just want a Skyrim mod where everyone's naked.
That exists.
Not like anime naked where everyone's got massive titties. Just everyone is the same, but everybody's nude the whole time.
I'm sure that exists.
Anyway,
I would bed Jane Farstrider because that he's been around, right? He's done some shit.
Old as shit.
And he's still kicking. He's still going, you know what I mean?
Kind of. He's kind of dead. You're really gonna fuck a corpse?
No, but before he dies.
You're gonna go to the elfin world and fuck a dead body?
No. Why would I do that?
I don't know.
Why would I do that?
I'm gonna marry Nakomi because she might be God.
Yeah, same. She knows what's up, so I'm gonna marry Nakomi.
I take that back. I do not want to. No, that was a funny joke. Bad choice.
No, I'm sticking with it.
No, you don't want your partner to know the right answer to everything.
I already do.
I feel like that says so much about me that you think you can say that about me, and it's kind of not true, but it's funny. But also that I don't want to marry someone who knows more than I do.
I'm just calling you out
just learned so much
because you don't
about
want
me
to go
in
to
2
therapy.
It's not that I don't want to go to therapy. It's just that I don't want to spend money on therapy because I in my mind think that we have no money.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So I gotta be...
Fuck. I think I'm gonna marry Andrel, because then I can teleport places, and that sounds great.
Sounds pretty great.
I'm going to fuck Nakomi, because I want to say that I fucked God, and then I'm gonna kill Jane Farstrider, because he's already dead.
Already dead. Fair enough.
Yeah.
I hear you.
Iljwam says, what would you consider more annoying, never finding out who killed Asmodean, or finding out the way we did? Never finding out.
Never finding out.
Look, I think that finding out the way we did just doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's kind of whatever.
But it's not annoying. It's just kind of like, okay, that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah. Yeah, it would be annoying if it was just never brought up and it was like... And I don't know. Like, I guess there are probably, like, books and series and stuff that leave certain questions unanswered, but it's not my favorite.
It's one of those things where, like, Asmodean and Rand's relationship was great, and it just ended, and it didn't matter.
Yeah.
And that's what I find frustrating about it, is that, like, Asmodean just didn't matter.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, he taught Rand a couple of spells.
Yeah.
And, like, that, I don't know. I just, for how much I was enjoying their relationship, and for how much value I think there could have been in one of the Forsaken going good, I just think that would have been more interesting. And, you know, the series just kind of did nothing with it. And it's like, okay, he was there, he died, whatever. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear you.
And then finding out that it was Graendal, a person who I don't know that
we didn't even know her at that point.
Well, and I don't know what it means to her that she killed him, or why she did it, or you know, like there's no, it's just kind of like a thing that happens in the series, but it just doesn't matter at all.
Yeah. And
that's unfortunate, because I really liked it until then.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah.
Purple Aja asks, what do you think Moraine will do in the final book, and why was it vital for her to return?
God, she's gonna fuck the shit out of Tom. Oh, that's why the show's not monetized.
Yeah.
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 You know what? I hear it now.
You hear it now.
I hear it now.
Yeah. Interesting. I honestly don't quite know what part Moraine has to play in this, but I do think Moraine will be the other person to help Rand with Callandor.
Yeah, because he hasn't made it specific,
He hasn't made it specific, and he says that he trusts Moraine, and he has this regret around Moraine, and I think that him trusting Nynaeve totally makes sense, and that Moraine coming back and him having those realizations and being able to kind of, like, make up with her, I think will lead to...
You think he's going to make out with her?
Make up. Mm-hmm. Nice try.
I heard you.
I think that she's going to be the third person to help with Callandor, and maybe... Like, Moraine is really incredibly smart. I hope that she and Min are able to work out some of these prophecies together.
Yeah, I think it says a lot about the romance of this series and the way it's written, that Rand thinks that he can use that with two women who aren't the two women that he's in love with and bonded to, and think that that's good for his relationship.
They're going to be busy doing other shit, okay?
They're going to be mad at him. The fact that he's like, I need two women who can channel to do this with me.
Well, Elaine is pregnant.
Well, I'm going to grab Nynaeve. Fuck. Do I know any other women who can channel? I don't.
God.
I don't think I know any other women who can channel that I trust or love or...
Here's the problem. Aviendha needs to touch Callandor to figure out what it is exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what we need Aviendha back. Exactly.
And Bryce has a great fucking point.
Yeah.
Rand doesn't know Elaine is pregnant.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, I think the reason why he doesn't know who the third person for Callandor is going to be is because he's like, oh shit, Aviendha and Elaine can both channel, but I don't want to pick one right now because that would
it should be Aviendha and Elaine.
He trusts Nynaeve, and she's more powerful, okay?
I know. But what this series has done with this romance is legitimately make me think that Randy's only attracted in these women because they're hot. Because he doesn't have any care.
He's like, I don't trust them enough to help me use Calendar.
But he also doesn't have any, like, care or, like, really any perspective on what they're good at. Like, Rand's relationships with Elaine and Nynaeve, with Elaine and Aviendha are not built on, like, his interest in their personalities.
I disagree with Aviendha. 100% disagree with Aviendha. The reason he likes Aviendha is because she's the one who fucking kicked his ass and, like, taught him about the Aiel culture. Like, she has poured so much of her perspective and personality out to Rand that, like, I disagree fully. I think that Elaine
That was like a year ago.
Yeah, and then they fucked.
And then he stopped talking to her.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
No,
they haven't
fucked.
spoken in months.
They had a good time, and then they got separated, right?
No, she's just been on the other side of the fucking camp for months.
Yes, but Rand is
she is down the fucking road, and he just doesn't talk to her. He literally is fucking
He doesn't want to put her in danger.
Okay, but he is fucking Min down the hall constantly, knows she can feel it, and just completely ignores her.
Yeah, it's fucking weird because he's insane.
Okay, but the argument of like, well, he doesn't want to put her in danger, it just doesn't work because A, they're in danger all the goddamn time, and second, Min is in his bed with him. Yeah, but
Avienda will not acknowledge Rand. And so he's not going to try and, like, force himself to be, like, to speak to her, right? Like, if someone was, like...
You know what? If you stopped talking to me, you know what I would do? I'd be like, you know what? She probably just doesn't want to talk to me. I'm not going to check in. I'm you know what? My wife stopped talking to me. I am going to...
Some people need space. You and I are different. But, like their relationship... Like, he doesn't really understand Aiel, right? He doesn't really get Aiel, and he probably just thinks that this is a thing that, like, has no control over, and he doesn't want to force her into a situation where she's uncomfortable or she, like, is dishonored.
Sure. My point is, the series has written romance in a way.
Yep.
Where this is what I think of their relationship, where I'm like, if you were to sit down with Rand over a drink and ask him, like, what does Elaine like? I don't think he could answer that question.
Yeah, no, I couldn't tell you.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't think...
Elaine, I agree. I'm on board 100% with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just funny.
Yeah.
It's just so funny to me that he's dating... And I don't know that he would actually be able to answer that question for Min. I think he would be like, oh, she likes tight pants.
She likes philosophy.
She kind of fell into that one, though.
Well, I don't think you fall... Like, she wouldn't be spending that much time in it if she didn't have some kind of, like, passion for it.
I just... When Rand is like, I'm going to bring Nynaeve and some other woman who can channel, what I hear is, I don't know how to communicate with the women that I love, so I'm just going to leave them out of this.
Absolutely. No, I hear you.
This question is about what's Moraine going to do, and we somehow got to Rand is bad at communicating with his loves.
Yeah, no one is surprised. I didn't, like, think about this before, but, like, when I said I want Avienda to touch Kalendor, I think that is essential and, like, has to happen, and if it doesn't, I will be disappointed.
Oh, because Min says there's another problem.
Min can't figure out what the thing is with Kalendor, right? And Cutswain kind of has a general idea of Kalendor, but Avienda can just touch it and know exactly what it does and how, so.
Agent Hydra, thank you for that super chat.
Thank you so much.
Clarus was just painting a Hydra for the relay. That looks very good. Hey, you two. I'm trying to catch up on the book club before Memory of Light. I've listened to Lord of Chaos episodes through half of Knife of Dreams in 2 weeks. Am I crazy? 25 plus episodes in 10 days in this economy. Are you okay? You sound like you're consuming this the way that I consume Critical Role.
Yeah, that checks out.
So no, I don't think you're crazy because I do the same thing with Critical Role, and it's
and
the
he's
best.
Happy.
It brings me so much joy and so much pain.
I'm sorry.
It's just really, like, emotionally good.
No, you're a mad lad.
Matt Mercer is a talented DM.
You know, we appreciate the views.
Thank you. Yeah. Enjoy catching up on that shit.
Yes,
Jesus Christ.
It's going to be a ride.
All right, next question. Oh, I think Moraine is going to... I think Moraine will also be the other person on Kalendor. I do. I think that makes sense because Moraine trusts her.
Yep.
In a way that he doesn't trust the women he fucks.
Apparently
Purple
not.
Aja says, are there any character reunions that we haven't happened yet that you're looking forward to?
Moraine and Rand. 1,000%. Moraine and Nynaeve.
Moraine and Swan.
Yes. Moraine and Nynaeve.
That one doesn't interest me as much.
Oh, really? Oh, my God.
Well, what about that? What about that is so exciting to you?
Well, because Nynaeve, like, hated Moraine with a passion. And, like, was like, I'm not going to become Aes Sedai. I hate everything that you stand for. Is, like deliberately antagonist towards Moraine. Even though, like, now she understands her perspective a lot more.
Yeah.
And I think that it's going to be really interesting and humbling for Nynaeve. And especially because they both love Lan so much. You know what I mean?
I don't even think it's going to be that. I think it's going to be a comic scene. And it's going to be Nynaeve being like, you know what? I am sorry. You're right. Rand was a pain in the fucking ass. I don't know how you dealt with this man.
Fair.
Nicodemus brings up Moraine and Lan.
Yeah.
Do you think that he is mad at her?
Do you think Lan survives?
Yeah.
He's about to die.
No, Rand was like, we're going to go save him.
Yeah.
He said that.
It might be too late.
It might be too late. I would love that. I would love for fucking somebody to die in these books that isn't like 85 or a wolf. And I love Hopper, don't get me wrong, but like I just want the bad guys to fucking get you know.
Yeah.
I don't want to watch a boxing match where one boxer just beats the shit out of the other person for 6 rounds.
Unless someone's beating the shit out of Logan Paul, in which case that's fine.
No comment.
He put himself in that situation.
Logan Paul's never lost a fight. No, wait, no. Manny Pacquiao. Didn't Manny Pacquiao like win by like decision?
I don't give a shit.
Purple Aja says, since the Gathering Storm?
Yeah.
Yes, and the Towers of Midnight. Originally meant to be one book. Do you think they should be adapted into a single season of television?
No, there's so much.
Yeah, but not. I don't know how to talk about this. If there were a television show of the Wheel of Time, I don't know that the first season of that show indicates that many of these events are possible.
Right.
Given what has been set up. And so I think everything's going to be so different in a hypothetical adaptation of this that, you could condense this. You could figure this out.
I agree. I think, unless you had a show that was like 20 seasons long, you know what I mean?
No, I don't even think you need that. I just think that you need... There are things... This rides the line, you know what I mean? This rides that like weird line. I'm just going to talk about it because I don't think this is promotional for me to say. There are things that the first season of that show did that I don't think lend themselves to foreshadow the events of these last 2 books very well.
Okay.
And I think that a lot of the like the emotional foreshadowing of the payoff of some of these storylines doesn't exist, and the characters involved in them don't exist. And so I think that so much of this is going to be condensed that I don't know. I can
see it, being condensed.
Yeah, you could do this in one season. I would need 10 episodes, so I could do the 2 in one season. But there's a lot of stuff I would cut.
Yeah.
But like also like I would cut Asmodean from the show. Now having seen how little he matters.
Yeah.
Like I would fully just cut Asmodean completely out of the show.
Yeah.
And I would just give Logain time to teach Rand. Like, you know, like this weird image that I have in my head from this week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I hear you.
Hard to talk about right now, guys. I'm trying to ride the line right.
We're doing our best.
Yeah.
Even if we stumble.
Wheel of Time fan edit says, you're now 2/3 of the way through the Brandon Sanderson's books. Could you please share your thoughts on reflecting on his writing versus Robert Jordan's and what you feel his contribution to the series is? What are your predictions for the final book?
That's 2 separate.
Oh, yeah. I think that I love Robert Jordan's use of language.
Yeah.
I said it long ago. And like this was like 8 books ago. I said that I think that Robert Jordan is a very good writer and not a very good storyteller.
Yeah.
And I stand by that. I think that is true. I think that Robert Jordan is a fantastic writer and has great characters and, is really wonderful at world building.
Yes.
And creates a world that you want to spend time in.
Absolutely.
And is not a very good like narrative writer. And I think that Brandon Sanderson brought narrative back to the series in a way that was lacking.
They focus on different things within a scene.
Mm-hmm.
And that's been the biggest like adjustment that I have felt, and I tend to prefer the Sanderson perspective during scenes. There was a lot of Robert Jordan describing things that paint a beautiful visual, but again, we talked about this earlier, I don't actually like read with visuals. And so that's just kind of information that doesn't matter to me a ton. So personally, I prefer Sanderson's perspective in terms of what the focus, what is in focus in a scene. But I do agree that like Robert Jordan's world building and ideas and use of language are truly masterful.
Yeah, I agree with that.
He's got some incredible strengths. And I definitely don't want to like dismiss those for sure.
No, I'm not. I'm saying like I think he's a great writer.
I want to like make that clear. because I think generally I might prefer Sanderson's writing. I don't know yet. I haven't read his other stuff. That is my prediction.
I can already say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not a hard thing for me to say.
Yeah.
I think that like what I love so much about Robert Jordan is, the big swings that he takes, and I think that there's a lot of them in this series. But at the same time, like I think that on an interpersonal level, the way that he structured the series really made it hard to be invested in character relationships, right? And I think like that, especially if you're going to have a series go on this long, I think that there's a stereotypicalness to his version of what conflict is interpersonally.
Yeah.
And I don't think that he ever... I think that it worked for the first 5 or 6 books.
It relies on people not talking.
Well, yeah, but it works for a few books because there's like the opening books have so much going on that you don't really realize that a lot of the main characters are on the same journey emotionally.
Yes.
A lot of the like...
And then they unlock traveling, and you're like, why aren't people talking to one another?
Yeah, and like there's not a lot of justification for the lack of communication across the entire series.
Yeah.
And so like, and then you get into like a lot of the female characters are essentially just a copy and paste of this like antagonizing idea.
Yeah.
Like there's definitely elements of it that that overstay their welcome because there just isn't enough storytelling going on in the series to maintain the interest. And I think that that's really where the slog comes from, is this like element of, yes, this is all really cool, but like, what is it in service of?
Yeah, and I think that...
And he writes, just to finish my point, I think he writes a lot of description and a lot of people and a lot of world.
Yes.
And doesn't spend enough time in his writing, like, directing the eye of the viewer towards what it's in service of.
Yeah.
And so it just, like, the meander, while beautiful at first, loses steam. And I think what Brandon Sanderson brought, to just get back to this question, is I think that he brought steam back. He took all of the carts that were in the field that are all beautiful and painted and wonderful and have all these things going on, and he put them back on a track.
Yeah.
And that track kind of allows the reader to be invested in the pacing and in the momentum of the series as we go towards the end.
Yeah.
And I think that, like, it you know, not to say that, like, the ending wouldn't have been great if Jordan had written it, but I do think that it's getting there faster because he didn't. Yeah.
I think that's fair. I like touching on the kind of copy-paste of a lot of the female characters. I think that the book suffered in having so many named characters that it was like you couldn't spend time on a lot of them, so a lot of them are just like antagonistic copy-paste woman who thinks that her opinion is the best opinion in the room. And I just think that suffered under the weight of how many characters we encountered.
Well, but I also think there's little things, right? Like, I think that Robert Jordan's decision to have the girls go to the White Tower in book 2 and not spend time there on what the White Tower stance is on magic and the one power. Like, I think that, like, that we didn't learn what their rules were and how they... Because there's a lot of talk in this series about how, the Windfinders do it so differently and the Aiel do it so differently. But because he doesn't spend time at the beginning setting up what the Aes Sedai's rules around it are and what their beliefs are and how it functions for them, we kind of get that stuff later. And there are points in like book 6, 7, 8 where you're like, I wish that more of this information had just been in the beginning of the series, because it doesn't set that up. When he does these comparisons, it's kind of like the sentence that I hate, right? Where it was like, channeling when you're tired is harder than usual, but this was not like the other times.
Yeah.
And I was like, that doesn't mean anything because you haven't set up what is different. And so, or what the usual is. Mm-hmm. Because the series goes out of its way to keep things vague early on. And then when you get to book 8, 9, like, there is really interesting stuff about the weaves and how the magic works, and it gets there.
Yeah.
But it's stuff that, like, if it had been in the beginning, and like, the girls go to the White Tower and they go to classes and they learn about this, and we kind of get the perspective that they have. When you are seeding in the differences later, they mean more.
Yeah.
And it's stuff like that where I'm like, I'm glad that he described what it was like to wash pots for, like, fucking months. You know what I mean? And I know everything about Elaine's fingernails while she's washing pots, but they're at the White Tower, like, learning about magic, and we spend no time on that.
Yeah.
And it's little things like that where I'm like, there's so much room in the early books to set up a little bit more narrative around the One Power, set up some like foreshadowing for why big things might work the way that they do.
Yeah.
Like the fact that we learned that you can unweave a weave and it creates a nuclear bomb when it happens, and that isn't in book 2 them being like, don't fucking unweave your weaves. Like literally,
don't pick it.
They should show up to the White Tower, and Shariam, the Mistress of Novices, should sit them down and be like, rule number fucking 1.
Yeah.
Don't try and pick at the weaves.
Yeah.
Because then you're like, wait, what happens? And they're like, anything
and
can
happen.
Happen.
They don't really talk about the specific consequences, maybe, but it's like the rules are set up so that when it does happen, you're like, holy shit, yeah.
But instead, what we get is that in the moment we learn, oh no, we learned this thing back then. It was never told to the audience, and I'm like, well, okay, well then it just feels convenient. Like it doesn't feel like this. This doesn't feel like good world building. Because you're just telling me like, we learned this thing a year ago, and the audience just wasn't privy, right?
Yeah.
And that to me about Robert Jordan's writing can be a little bit frustrating.
Yeah, that's fair. 56, thank you for that super duper chat. Behind, but just wanted to let y'all know your Wheel of Time content rescued my love of the series after the show came out. I grew up with this stuff reading with my dad, and I appreciate the fresh perspective on it now through your eyes. Thank you so much.
Oh, 56. I'm so glad we were able to be a part of that with you.
Yeah, that means a lot. The like, for reals. I know that this series means a lot to a lot of people, and we're just like overjoyed to be a part of that community, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sean says RJ could not be arsed to show the Wonder Girls actually learn in the tower, so it felt like they just spent all their time as maids cleaning the kitchens. 100%.
A little bit, yeah.
But like I think that there's a version of this where I don't like dread rereading Fires of Heaven, where if in like The Great Hunt we had learned a little bit more about how the One Power works, when the Wonder Girls come up with shit, if it was based on shit that we understood about the One Power, it wouldn't feel so much like they just get powers for no reason.
Yeah.
Because even
like there would be a way to like there would be like a path intellectually that we could see them taking, apart from Nynaeve has this like feeling when she weaves, and that's fine, you know, like that's her like wilder background, I think, and so that's fine. But yeah, for the other two, taking the things that they've learned and either turning them on their head or reinterpreting them or using them in a different context, I think would be super fun.
And I remember, like, that was my biggest complaint about The Great Hunt, and it's why The Great Hunt to me is one of the weakest of the like first 6 books, is because the opportunity is there and it just isn't taken. And so I feel like the series gets off on a rocky foot, and I think that the Wonder Girls in particular suffer the most from it, because as you go through the series, they just kind of are powerful randomly and they're just kind of good at things, and there's no foundation for them to be good at things from.
It's
and
like the pattern needs it. So,
and I think that that's not as strong as making the rules of a world clear. It's, you know, in our discussions of Attack on Titan, it's the same issue I have, where like the rules of that world just kind of pop up when they need to.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing here, and it is something that I commented on in The Great Hunt, and that I remember commenting on it in The Great Hunt and being like, this is going to be a problem for me in particular moving forward. And it has been, right? Yeah. And I think, like, that's just how I feel about it.
Yeah. No, that's fair. Wheel of Time fan edit asks, their second question was, what are your predictions for the final book? Is there anything specific you want to see?
I feel like we kind of answered this already.
We kind of answered what we wanted to see. We've made so many predictions throughout, like, book club that it's hard to keep track. Yeah, I think my biggest prediction is that Maureen is the other person who helps wield Kalendor. I think she's integral for Min, trying to figure out what these things mean.
I think Rand dies.
I think he like gets separated from like being the dragon somehow. Like, and that's what dies. The Dragon Reborn dies, but Rand doesn't die, and he just
do you think
gets to have a life.
His body dies and Loyal sings to the tree and he gets like a wooden body?
He becomes Pinocchio.
The Wheel of Time is the reverse Pinocchio.
God damn it.
Wait, and Nakomi is the fucking cricket?
No, not Geppetto.
No, Geppetto's his dad.
Jiminy Cricket.
Yeah, Tam is not his actual father.
Oh my god.
But is his father figure.
Wow. Sure.
Guys. Wheel of Time, the reverse Pinocchio.
It's actually Pinocchio.
That's my prediction.
Okay.
Faisakan says, now that we've gone through the majority of the series with a low prominent character body count, who will survive the final book? Fucking... Hopefully not many people. At this point. I don't know. I think Matt does. I think Perrin and Fail do. I don't think Tam does. I think Tam probably dies.
Tam, I could see that for sure.
Gareth survives. I think Gareth and Swan survive.
Yeah, it's tough because the relationship has kind of just started, so it would be really tragic to cut it short. But it might be an interesting...
I think Galad survives. I think Galad and Berlain get together and, like, have really hot sex.
Yeah, that's
Can
fair.
you imagine Berlain's OnlyFans?
Oh, God, that would be kinky as shit.
That'd be weird. There'd be some weird shit on there.
She knows some weird tricks.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Oh, yeah, 1,000%. Okay, who's in danger of dying? I think, like, all the wolves are gonna die. Honestly. They're all riding to the last battle. It's a nice hat. You, too, can have a roleplay relay hat, if you like. Yeah, I think that, like, a part of Rand dies. I think it's more complicated than him just dying, personally. I think Gawain dies. Honestly.
No, because if Gawain dies, Egwene dies.
It's possible.
They're a package pair at this point.
It's possible, because here's the thing. Egwene dying and the White Tower changing because of her and her actions in, like, these final weeks leading up to the last battle. Like if she leaves behind a legacy that is greater than what the White Tower has ever been before, I think that is a like interesting arc for her story.
Yeah.
It's tragic. Obviously, she's very young, and like that would suck. But I could see Egwene and Gawain dying, or at least like maybe Egwene being. No, they can heal stilling, so that doesn't really actually have consequences anymore. I don't know. Yeah. I think that Egwene leaving behind a legacy that then others have to take up. Really cool story beat.
Yeah, but like, yeah.
I can see it happening. If I'm guessing people who have the potential to die and be in danger in the last battle, I think Egwene and Gawain. I think Tam, like you said,
yeah,
for sure. I think that like definitely a couple of our like Ashman are in danger, even though I wouldn't really call them like forefront characters. You know, like Narishma, and
they're all gonna join Ken.
Yeah.
Okay, question for you then. Say Egwene dies.
Okay.
It doesn't make the end of the series, but the White Tower survives, which not necessarily
questionable.
Who becomes the Amyrlin seat? Is it Rolanda or Lelaine?
Rolanda or Lelaine? Neither. Hopefully they both die as well, because they're an archaic part of the tower that honestly needs to be. Do you think that
in the moments before, like say Gawain dies first, or it doesn't matter really, what they're looking at each other across the battlefield. They know they're about to die. Do you think that they mouth to each other, "I'll go where you go"? None
of them know what that means.
I don't care. It's for me.
Oh my god, no. Fuck.
Who would be a good Amyrlin seat? Because it's not Nynaeve.
No, it's not. Unfortunately,
it's not Cadsuane. It's not. Varen's dead. Honestly, I would have given it to Varen, but she's dead.
True. Who would be a good? That's the thing is, I don't know. Maybe Pivara.
I would like it if it was Pivara. Pivara's great.
Have a red afterwards that like kind of wipes like clears the name of Aleda.
That would be interesting.
Pivara for Amyrlin, I could see that.
I was about to say, like, as a joke, I was going to be like, what about Nicola? But Nicola's dead.
Nicola's dead. Yeah.
Oh, man. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see.
Yeah.
Hannah Green says, who would be the worst Amyrlin?
The worst? Lelaine. Like, sure.
Cat Swain would be the worst.
Sure. I in my like ideal ending, like the Amerlin and like whoever the head of the Black Towers would work together. Like I said, you know, what I want from the series is that like more of an equality thing.
Okay, so say they kill Mazrim Taim.
Yeah.
Is the next leader of the Black Tower also the Mihail?
I don't know. I think that's a name that kind of got a negative connotation to it now. Andral for the next leader of the Black Tower though. He's got some big brain.
Nah, he's too weak. No one would respect him.
But
that's not how the male half the power works. It just he wouldn't last long.
But Egwene has already like if the White Tower is changing,
Egwene can fucking murk everybody in the White Tower.
Yeah, I know, but the White Tower is changing so that power level doesn't fucking matter in your status, and I think that like everyone can fucking learn from that. You know?
Sure, but the difference between the female half of the power and the male half is that the male half is all about wrestling control of it, and so I think that like they're by nature of how they take hold of it. There is a level of animosity and like physical anger and rage that goes into being a male channeler, unfortunately.
Okay, so the Black Tower...
And I think the Black Tower needs to be led by someone who can who has the like physical, like not physical, but like...
They have an arm wrestle, and whoever wins is the leader of the Black Tower.
No. But yeah. But it does have to be someone who other people respect on a like...
'Cause manpower.
Yeah, no, but I do think that, right? Like I think that like...
That would feel very in line.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Is there anyone else you think is in, like, danger of dying?
I mean, everybody's in danger of dying. I don't know. I said who I think's gonna die.
Fair.
Kita says, do you think Asmodean will be in the show? And if so, if yes, do you think they will make a mystery of who killed him?
No,
I do not think he'll be in the show, and I don't think they will make a mystery of it because I think the mystery will be, where's Asmodean?
Iljram asks, if you could have only one of the powers from the books, which would you choose? Some examples, dreamwalking, channeling,
Terrible.
Wolf sibling,
Terrible.
Sniffing,
Terrible.
What Min does.
The literal fucking worst.
Taviran.
Almost as bad as what Min does.
Tree singing.
Fantastic.
Something else I forgot.
Tree singing. I wouldn't have to have a resin printer. I could just go outside and get minis from trees.
You'd be really good at manipulating wood. It would be a good time for everybody involved.
All the others sound... Well, dreamwalking wouldn't be bad, but...
I think dreamwalking or tree singing are the top two. Everyone else, yeah, kind of just...
There's too many consequences to everything else. And there's too much, like... I don't want to have a... If I could have a superpower, I don't want to have a superpower that would make me feel responsible for saving people all the time.
I'm not gonna lie. I actually think I would be a wolf brother.
No.
Yeah.
You would hate that.
Why?
Because, like, you would, like, constantly be hearing wolves in your head. You would have to, like, wrestle with the idea that you might be becoming more wolf-like. You would get randomly violent at times when you lose control.
No, I wouldn't. Perrin doesn't get randomly violent.
Yes, he does. He literally he gets, like, bloodlust, and he goes too far, and he has to pull himself back.
When am I going to be fighting people?
In our marriage.
Am I like fighting people off? Do I feel like win your affections?
You don't want a superpower that like makes you have to like fight for the control of your own body.
But it's not really a fight, and that's what Perrin learns. Gnome became a wolf because he wanted to become a wolf.
Yeah.
Perrin like if I didn't need to like if that wasn't even like in my head about like accidentally becoming a wolf and like losing control, then it wouldn't matter because it's not a thing. Like it's a thing you have to choose.
I don't know. I don't want a superpower that makes me feel like I'm out of control. If I want to feel out of control, I can do drugs.
Here's the thing: I'd be really popular with the furries.
Why? Perrin's not hairier.
Well, we don't know that.
He can barely grow a beard.
God.
What about you being able to talk to wolves in your head would make you popular with furries?
It'd be really cool. Obviously.
I would love it.
How does that not make sense?
If you could telepathically communicate with furries whose furry like identity is a wolf.
Is a wolf. Yeah.
That's my superpower.
That's my superpower.
I can communicate telepathically with furries.
Such a random... Sure.
I'm a furry brother.
Sure. Early
I would want Matt's luck. If I could just like make money constantly.
Fair. Here's the thing, you would get banned out of every casino in Vegas. You know what I mean? Like you'd have to be super strategic about it.
No, because you would lose enough.
Yeah, but they still ban people who win too much. regardless of whether or not it's like legit.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
You have made your money by then.
You wouldn't play. No. Here's the problem with what Matt does, is that he's gambling at places where you have to gamble consistently to win, right? Where you have to play long games. I wouldn't go play poker or blackjack. I would go play roulette.
Slots.
No. I would go play roulette.
Yeah.
And I would drop all of my money on black, or I would literally be like 15. I would put 10 grand down.
I don't know.
And then it would come up, the ball would hit 15. I would make all of that I would make crazy money. And then I would be like, wow, that's crazy. I'm not fucking taking a risk on that. I'm out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because yes, if you go play blackjack and you win constantly, enough that you win tens of thousands of dollars, the casino's going to get suspicious. But if you win one hand, they can't be like, you cheated.
Fair. That's fair.
You can't cheat at roulette. They roll the ball. You don't even touch anything. You literally just put something down.
That's true. Early on asks, many of the characters have had ups and downs, and the Wheel of Time community can never agree on who is top tier at any given time. I'm shocked. Do you think any of your top tier characters will have a downfall, or that some secondary characters will do something that makes them one of your series' favorite characters, and who? That's kind of tough right at the end here.
No, this is the easiest place for people to become legends.
Well, I kind of think that everybody has. A lot of people have kind of like are near the ending of their arcs, and so I have a lot of affection and respect for them. Right? Like in the middle of the series, Nynaeve is like, oh my god, like, girl, stop it. But you know, like she's definitely like risen up the ranks in terms of my ranking.
I don't know. Nynaeve has gotten annoying lately.
What do you mean?
Because Nynaeve is the books have kind of shunted her. The last like interesting thing she did was find out where Grendel was. But then Nynaeve is kind of...
Yeah, but that doesn't mean she's dropped in like tier.
Yeah, no, but she's just like lately. Cadsuane takes up so much oxygen in the series. And Nynaeve is kind of just living in scenes with her in a way that is pushing Nynaeve to the side. And I think getting Nynaeve back out of Cadsuane's shadow will be good for the series and good for her character. I just think that Nynaeve, or Cadsuane is such a, like... When she is in the room, the series has to talk about her reactions to things. And it overtakes the other people who are participating.
That's fair.
And Nynaeve has fallen into that since Ebudar. Not Ebudar.
I mean, she healed the madness.
Yeah, and that was great. And then, like, doesn't come back.
Yeah.
Like, Nynaeve has all of the ability that Cadsuane doesn't have and is actually, like, helpful and good at stuff. And yet we still have these rooms where it's, like, Min, Cadsuane, and Nynaeve, and Cadsuane does all the talking, even though Cadsuane hasn't been here for most of this shit, is never that helpful, and is just kind of, like, I hate to say it, but a bitch to everybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, like... It is frustrating because she takes up so much oxygen but provides so little in return.
Yeah.
Whereas Nynaeve is not doing that, but provides curing madness and, like, you know, having concerns about land. But Nynaeve has personal relationships with other people in the series and is just more interesting in every way.
Yeah.
But Cadsuane is the one whose reaction we hear about constantly.
I think for this question in particular, like, I'm trying to think of, like, kind of, like, middle of the pack characters who I think have a chance to really become, like, S tier. And I think those for me are probably, like, Elias. Because Elias hasn't done, a lot lately, but is a cool character that I do find really interesting.
He's always been interesting, but not really done anything.
Yeah. And Logain. Like, Logain has done some really cool stuff, but I wouldn't put him at, like, S tier. But I think there's room for that in the final book.
You know who's not really S tier, but I think could get there really easily? Brigitte.
You don't think Brigitte is S tier?
No, but
I would
because...
at least put her, like, A tier.
Yeah, but like, my thing with Brigitte is that she hasn't really done a lot, right? Like, Brigitte is in this weird position in the series of being Elaine's minder.
Yeah.
And so she mostly complains about what Elaine is doing. Like, she saved Brigitte's, like, greatest action in the series is after Elaine is kidnapped and what she does there. And, like, that was awesome. But I think, like, I think there's room in the final battle for Brigitte to show a little bit more of her Brigitte-ness.
Yeah.
And could rise up. Because right now, like, she had that one great moment, and then she's kind of just, like, following Elaine around, being like, don't do that. I'm mad at you. I'm frustrated. She kind of has, like, the annoying babysitter syndrome right now. And so I'm hopeful that going into the last battle, she'll step out of that a little bit and, like, be a little bit just... I hope all these characters get a little bit more active.
Yeah.
Because, like, the Elaine plotline has just been kind of meetings about... A lot of meetings.
Yeah.
And I think, like, that Brigitte as an action character really suffers in that.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I think it's that she's used as the dummy for people to explain politics to. And so that's kind of been her role functionally in the story lately, is to be the person who's going, I don't really understand what's going on.
Yeah. I think another character who has room for like ranking is Loyal, only because we've barely seen Loyal lately. But I think he's doing cool things at the stump. Like I think his like intervention there. I don't think we see the actual stump now.
You don't think it's in the prologue? I think there's room for it in the prologue of the next book.
Maybe, but I think in the actual book we see the aftermath of it.
Yeah.
Because they're going to have to like move shit along.
What if Loyal shows up just like as a bit? Because this would be fucking hilarious. He shows up immediately after the last battle. And it's just like, wait, I fucking missed it?
No!
Nobody move! Everybody has to tell me exactly what happened. One at a time.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my god. That would actually be hilarious.
James Ross says, I'm very behind, but I just learning that Clarice may have aphantasia. She can't visualize stuff in her head.
I didn't know that was a thing. I thought people just interpreted information differently.
Can you visualize, if you try to visualize something, can you like see images?
Like, I'm picturing this actor's face in my head.
You're very bad at that, though.
I am very bad at that, but I can, like, picture, like, Margot Robbie's face right now. For the most part.
Wow, okay. You might have aphantasia. Interesting.
No, like, I'm, like, I'm like, her eyes are blue. And her hair kind of goes... I don't know. What does it mean by, like, picturing? Because right now I'm just, like... taking like images that I have seen already.
Could you create an image in your head?
Probably.
Like, can you like visualize Captain Kirk holding a lightsaber?
Right now I am picturing the like meme of Captain Kirk. Not like Kirk specifically, but like the yellow shirt like meme with like a lightsaber.
So you can like see things that you can remember images, but can you like create an image in your head?
How would I create an image out of something I've never seen before? Like, because I can just copy and paste.
See, now that is fascinating.
What do you mean?
Because I don't, like, when I hear that concept, that isn't hard for me to do. To, like, picture something that, like, I think up. That isn't, like, just other images.
But it's just, like, things that I've seen. Like, I'm not, like, okay, example. Like, reading a book, reading a book. A character description, I don't make up their face in my head. That's, like, impossible for me. I, like, kind of picture them as looking similar to somebody that I've seen before.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right, Clad in Shadow says, how many characters can you name? Fuck you, Clad in Shadow. Get the fuck out of here.
What the fuck? How long do you want us to be there?
Sean, Cheyenne, Shan, Shan, Shalane,
I could probably name maybe 100 characters, maybe, out of the 2,700 that there are.
I could do more than that. All right, let's do it. Live on the pod. Here we go.
Oh my god, are you kidding me? We need something to keep track, like, count.
Rand, Perrin, Matt, Nynaeve, Egwene, Elaine, Tam, Moraine, Lan, Sean, Ramonda, Lelaine, Swan, Kedswain, Varen, Asmodean, Demandred, Lanfear, Graendal. I'm doing this, not you.
Okay. Sorry.
Ishamael.
Okay, that's 20.
Wait, but I have to get all of his names. Ishamael, Baal-Zaman, and Moradin.
Okay.
Baal.
I'm keeping track of the 10s.
Agenor, Belthamel, which is also Halima and Deshiva. They're out. Where are we at? We're at like 24?
You were keeping count.
Oh, I think that was 25.
You're doing the ones and I'm doing the
okay.
tens.
So then that's 25. So then Davram Bashir, Fail, Tenobia, Agelmar. This is dumb. No, I can keep going, but this is dumb.
I'm pretty sure maybe I could name 100. Maybe. Maybe.
Bilal is so forgettable that Nerdy thinks he's Baal.
Baalzaman.
Whatever. Close enough. Clyde and Shadow says, who do you want to return? I'll do it in a video. I'll do that in a separate video on the Nerdy channel that's not this channel.
Sure.
Who do you want to return for the last hurrah in the final book? You forgot Narg and Ken the Ashaman.
That's true.
Who's in your final hurrah?
You also forgot Josh.
Josh! I can't believe that happened. Jahar Narishma. Crazy.
Look, here's the thing. I think that Loyal will come back. I think that Moraine is back now. And
I would fucking love for the sea folk to do something.
Sure.
Oh, again in Lelwyn or and Baeldomen.
Baeldomen, they could be.
God, I hated where their storyline went.
I know, they could be useful, maybe. I have to pee.
The Seeker, will you refill my? Oh no, there's no coffee left in the.
I'm so sorry.
It needs to be
Nerdy needs his coffee.
Will you just like give me water?
Do you want? Oh, okay. You want water? I'll come back with water.
Thank you. Who do I want to come back for a final hurrah? Hurrah, hurrah, hurrah. I think Loyal is number one for me, honestly. Of like characters that have gone away lately, I think it would be Loyal. Trixie464 says, what character's arc have you enjoyed the most so far? Egwene is pretty good. Egwene is pretty solid. I think her arc has been pretty great. Rance has been pretty good. Who's my favorite though? I think I gotta go Egwene, man. That shit against Aleda in the tower. I think I have to go Elaine. I don't think there's another answer to that question. Sharon Scout says, do you think the story has completely moved away from its Tolkien roots? If so, do you think it's for the better since the best books are the early ones? At least that's the general consensus so far, it seems. I do think that Robert Jordan's writing was stronger when in the like storytelling and structure when he was stealing more. So yes, I think that as Robert Jordan got away from Tolkien and got into his own style more, I do think that the narrative sort of lost its pacing. And so there is an element of it where I do think that when he was not stealing from Tolkien, but more inspired by Tolkien, I do think that the books had a little bit more active purpose to them. And it wasn't really until the books started to really splinter everybody off into their own thing and have everybody on their own plot line that I think that it got a little bit rough, in my opinion. I said that.
What was the question?
Which character's arc have you enjoyed the most so far? I said Egwene. I feel like she's had the best arc in the series.
Her arc.
Why did you bring the bugbear up?
Because we were talking about minis earlier, and I thought it would be cool to like.
Do you want to show people?
We've been painting minis. You're gonna have to hide your face. We've been painting minis, and I made a bugbear. What do we think, y'all? How's he looking? Scary? Menacing? I can't tell. I can't even tell if it's... Oh, it was in focus.
It was in focus, yeah.
We like painting minis. It's a good time. Come watch the roleplay relay and see if this makes it in.
We're painting so much, not knowing if it's even going to be in it.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Character's arc. Egwene is a really good one. Egwene is a really good one because she had some like lows that like she really came.
I mean, there's a point where I had her as an F tier character.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Oh no, the face hiding is not strike related, Narcissus. It's because the autofocus on our camera won't focus on the mini if you can see our faces.
Yeah, it will choose the faces over whatever is in front of the camera. Fuck. I think Egwene is honestly the best answer.
Fabu Moose says it's Dick Paddle the bugbear.
No, that's not a bugbear. That's an owl bear. Duh.
No, he's talking about the Rock.
Is that the Dick Paddle?
Yeah, it's the Dick Paddle.
Gotcha.
Thank you for the super chat, Fabu.
Thank you for the super chat, Fabu.
I cannot wait to come pick you up at the airport next Friday. Let's move on.
Yeah, I think,
Ann,
honestly, Egwene is the best.
Early Ann says, at this point, how would you rank the top 5 Swordmasters? There is an official list you can check after finishing the series. I would definitely put...
Turok is at the bottom.
Yeah, because Turok's the bottom.
Because Rand just fucking, like, is barely a Swordmaster and just beats him.
Yeah, I guess then right above him would be Eminvalda.
Okay.
And then...
So then above him would be...
Lan?
Yeah,
no,
Lan and Galad, because Galad
and
Rand. Who else is a Swordmaster?
Those are the 5.
I think those are the 5, yeah.
Right, Turok, Valda... I would put Lan 1, Galad 2, Rand 3.
Valda.
Rand might have been 2 before he lost his other hand, but I don't think he could beat Galad one-handed.
That's fair. That's fair.
Valda and then Turok. I think that pre-losing his hand, it's more interesting. But
yeah, no, I think that's fair.
Gawain beat the Blood Knives.
Yeah, the Blood Knives are not Swordmasters, though.
Tam is also a Swordmaster, and Gawain is a Swordmaster.
Oh, wait, Gawain is?
Yeah, because he beat Hamar.
Okay. So
there's
then,
actually 7.
So knock Turok and Valda out. They're not in the top 5 then.
They're not in the top 5, okay.
So it'd be Lan.
I think Lan's number 1.
Lan, yeah.
I would maybe...
Galad?
I think I would still put Galad too.
Yeah, I think so. And then maybe Gawain, because Gawain seems to fucking cut through people like butter and not even break a fucking sweat.
I also think Gawain beats one-hand Rand. But I think that it goes Lan, Rand, 2-hand, Galad, Gawain, Rand, 1-hand.
Fair.
And then Tam. Just because he's older. I think Tam is probably a little bit slower in age.
If Tam is even on the listing, or like,
because
we've never really seen him sword fight that much.
But the Heronmark blade that Rand uses
in the
Tam's.
top 5. In the top 5.
Oh, but I'm only saying that like because I gave Rand 2 spots, I'm doing a top 6.
Gotcha. Okay, that's fair. Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I would put it. Just because I think that Rand losing a hand changes a lot, and I think that like Prime Tam is probably like up near Lan, to
have survived the Aiel, yeah.
New Spring era Tam, top tier.
Yeah.
But he's older now, and he's struggling a little bit.
Yeah, that's fair.
Mm-hmm.
Flower Power asks, who do you think will not survive the last battle? We kind of already talked about that.
Yeah, we've gone through that one. Ildrum says, how many folk would the sea folk see if the sea folk were folksy? Id vs. Ego says, you are now 13 out of 14 books through the main series. With your understanding of how most of the plot arcs have wrapped up and where everyone needs to be for the last battle. I don't know where they need to be for the last battle.
Still unclear on that.
How would you arrange the story beat to get through 8 seasons? Oh my god. Would you merge Forsaken? Would you skip the plot line of Doom?
Okay, so if we were to create a hypothetical show.
Yeah.
That's easier to talk about.
That's such a big question.
It is a big question.
I need 40 minutes.
We've talked about doing this as a separate video.
Yeah, let's say that. I'll do a video.
Yeah, like we've talked about how we would structure a show if we were in charge of that.
I'm going to do a 90-minute video where I give each season 10 minutes and I break down how I would do it.
Sales pitch? Love it. Okay.
It's going to be crazy. It's going to be nuts.
Should we each bring our own?
Yeah.
And like have like different like...
mine's going to be a 90-minute video.
Book club is usually 3 hours, so we each do.
Oh, you mean do it live? Oh, okay.
It doesn't have to be live, but it might be fun for them to ask questions about it.
All right.
It might be fun.
We'll do that after we finish Memory of Light.
Yeah, well, like I said, we still want to keep making Wheel of Time content, so this kind of thing, I think, deserves its own video.
And for Nerdy, where would you give our protagonist a massive L? Oh, if I could, change it, where would I give them losses? I would change the pilot. I would remove Perrin's wife's death. completely ignore the show. My version would have Tam die. I would kill Tam in the pilot in a sword fight with a Murdral that shows how fucking scary Murdral are, because even Moraine would recognize Tam's sword as being a Heron mark. Like, as they're leaving town at the end of the episode, Lan would pull Rand aside to talk about the blade and how good it implies that Tam is with that blade.
Yeah.
And to show how scary a Murdral chasing them is.
Question it. How do you get into Veins of Gold then?
With his loves.
Okay.
I would send, because if I'm doing the show, I'm rewriting the entire fucking romance of all of his relationships with those women.
Okay.
To have like actual relationships.
Mm-hmm.
And I wouldn't bring in his dad. I would bring in the 3 women he's bonded to. You know what I mean?
Interesting. Okay.
And I would have it be the 3 of them confronting him together would be the Veins of Gold thing. Cool. Because I think that Tam doesn't do enough for the rest of the series. And you can sell the villains of the series so much better than I think both the books and the show do by having Tam die there in a fight that is fucking rad. Okay. Like, I'm saying, like, Perry City, like, it's a back and forth, and it's just, no matter how good Tam is, he just can't take this thing out.
Yeah. Or, like, the Murdral is sneaky and, like, gets, like, an unfair...
No, I wouldn't even... No, I wouldn't do that. I would deliberately not do that. I would have it be a fair fight between 2... Because I don't want the Murdral to be undercut at all. I want to set up the Murdral as a 7-foot tall monster who's fast and strong, and who, no matter how good Tam is in that fight, like, he's just this... Because the visual the show came up with is great, right? I would keep that visual, but I would show him be just this unbeatable force. To really sell that when Rand finally kills a Murdral at the end of the season, which is what I would do, is have Rand, like,
I have an L that I would put into the beginning of the series.
Where?
Big L would be in Great Hunt. When Rand gets ahead of oh my god, fuck, why can't I remember his name? When they're chasing the Horn and they get ahead of their group.
Padan Fain?
No, what's the guy's...
Gaul?
No, the dark friend.
Uno?
No, not Uno, but the dude leading them.
Huron?
No, the dude Ingtar. Okay, so Rand gets ahead of Ingtar through the portal stones by accident, right? They get to Cairhien, and Padan Fain is there and is hunting them. And Padan Fain... it uses the Trollocs instead of trying to attack Rand and fight Rand. Padan Fain sacks Cairhien.
Why?
Because
how is that an L?
Because the city falls. Rand is there, can't do anything about it. It was like the group that's hunting for the Horn. There's not enough of them to do anything about it. Cairhien doesn't know there's an attack coming. Because they're hiding. Remember, they're hiding in the weird puppet things. I would have them sack Cairhien and have to run away from the city. And leave it to burn, and like they can't do anything because Rand doesn't have a grasp on the power.
I don't know.
Enough.
I think that if Padan Fain takes out Cairhien with like 12 Trollocs, I just don't really get.
He doesn't have 12 Trollocs. He's amassing people, and
at that point he has a small force with him, but he doesn't have Cairhien is a massive city. I don't. Padan Fain would have to show up with an army.
Yeah, but there's a Waygate in Cairhien.
Yeah, but they can't channel. Like, I don't really understand, like, what the, like... I don't understand what is sacking Cairhien in that scene.
Like, it would be Trollocs that he's accumulated and the Dark Friends, plus he accesses the Waygate and either, like, finds more Trollocs, or he seems to have some kind of manipulation over Machin Shin and can, like, use that power and, like pull down the center of the city.
I think that you're opening up a can of worms narratively that you then have to deal with.
Yeah.
And I don't know how you deal with it. Like, I think that if you set up Padan Fain as having an army and having these massive powers, then you now have to fight those powers and that army with...
But the next time we basically see Padan Fain is, like, with the Sanshin, which, like...
when he doesn't have an army,
yeah,
right?
But he shows up purposefully by himself. He can leave his buddies somewhere. Like that, like he seems to do that frequently. Like Padan Fain shows up and tries to manipulate the Sanshin.
But why but if he has an army, why would he leave it to go? Like the whole reason he goes to the Sanshin to manipulate them is because he doesn't have a force of his own.
Because he needs the dagger and he can't open up the box. Right?
But why would I don't. Yeah, I understand where you're going with it. Mm-hmm. I don't think that you. First of all, I think that you then remove narratively the Shido attacking Kyrian, which I think is
Shido. Oh,
that's important.
Like way later on, yeah.
Not that later, much later on. That was only 2 books later.
No, yeah,
that's book 5.
Okay, so 3 books later.
3 books later. Which is a more narratively satisfying attack of Kyrian, right? Because of their the Aiel's relationship with the city. And I think that like you've given Padan Fain a thing that narratively doesn't allow for him to do his future events the same way.
I would just want,
without Rand having to step in and get rid of that army.
Well, I want Rand to like have a loss around book 2 because it's where he discovers that he can channel and like doesn't know how to.
But that's not a loss, right? Like that's not him. That's not him.
It's him being helpless in a situation to help.
But again, this is the thing that I don't think. This is not what I'm asking for in the series, right? Mm-hmm. I'm not asking for our characters to not be able to stop something, and so it happens. I'm asking for our characters to make mistakes and be responsible in their loss. Right? And like, it's my problem with Andor being attacked the way that it is that Andor falls because they aren't there and Matt didn't read a letter, not because there's a military threat from the bad guys that is so great that they can't overcome it.
But the thing is, like, Rand brings the dagger and the horn into Kyrian, so if Kyrian got fucked, it would be his fault.
Yeah, that is fair, and that could be interesting. I just then think that Padan Fain would have an army that he wouldn't need to go manipulate other people, so why would he go do that? He would have a seat of power. Like why? Like you're kind of completely changing the trajectory of his whole thing in order to have him do something that's going to happen in 2 books. There are 3 books anyway, but from a different force.
Yeah, I just want Padan Fain to be more interesting because he seems to like have gone away.
Yeah, that one's tough.
Yeah.
Embrise, I like Embrise's have Rand lose Ilian to Samael. I think that would be an interesting one. Because Ilian,
Ilian hasn't really counted except that it, like, sent food.
I would mix Demandred and Samael and then have Ilian be this, like, thing that Rand can't penetrate. And have him lose there. Like, yeah, that would be, I think that one would be more interesting to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Honestly, it's going to depend a lot on the last battle, what I would go back and change. Because I like the idea of what you're saying, but I do think that it creates too many ripples into the rest of the story.
Or maybe Kyrian falls to the Shido. But then again, the Shido aren't really the dark ones. But
like that,
it's still a loss.
That would be a great loss.
Yeah.
For Rand to, that would be a great loss. Because who gives a fuck about Kyrian after that? Like, Elaine can take back the Kyrian if it's in shambles. I actually think Rand losing there would be a better loss than Rand losing to Padan Fain when he's just a kid and doesn't know what he's doing.
Yeah. Because, like, if the Shido take Kyrian and now they're, like, a base that, like, they have to figure out how to deal with, it gives them
and then Rand meets the Aes Sedai outside of Kyrian, and he gets kidnapped. Why? Oh, that's how you do it.
Outside?
He gets kidnapped, but he hasn't taken Kyrian yet. He gets kidnapped. Perrin leaves to go get Rand, and the Shido take Fael. While Perrin is saving Rand at Dumai's Wells.
Interesting.
Then you've condensed the plot of Doom forward, given Perrin a reason to, like, cut the Massima bullshit, because that fucking didn't matter at all.
Yeah.
Literally, just cut all the prophet shit out of the series. It doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that condenses everything. Shido winning Kyrian.
Yeah.
Rand gets kidnapped, taken away. Perrin goes to save Rand because they need to take Cairhien back.
Yes, and then
Fael gets kidnapped and then Rand gets saved at Dumai's Wells but fucks off because there's other things that he has to do, and he tasks Perrin with retaking Cairhien. Instead of retaking Malden, Perrin takes Cairhien.
Perrin takes Cairhien and saves Fael. Interesting.
That would be fun. You lose Perrin working with the Sanshin a little bit.
Honestly, it hasn't really made a huge difference in my view of him or the story, so I wouldn't be mad at like losing that.
Josh Simcoe says it still wouldn't affect the stakes of the last battle because the Shadow Large aren't dark friends, so they aren't really fighting the dark. 100%.
But it is like a loss for the characters. But they are not. Although Savannah is a dark friend.
Yeah.
So it kind of, it's not Trollocs.
And Galena's in there.
And yeah.
The Shadow also take Galena somehow, or no, just have Rand kill Galena.
Yeah.
Lightblind Fool says, but isn't it just the whole Caemlyn attack again? They only won because Rand and Perrin weren't there. No, I'm saying that you have Rand and Perrin fighting them, but they
lose.
They don't stop them from getting into Cairhien.
The city falls.
And then Rand and Perrin have all these Aiel, and they don't have anything to siege the city with. And so once the fucking Shaido are through the gates, they turn around, close the gates behind them, and Rand and Perrin are then sieging the Shaido inside of Cairhien.
Yeah.
And they can't get in, and you just have smoke and fire coming out, and the screams of the Cairhien as the Shaido ransack the city because Rand and Perrin's assault against them fails.
Yeah.
But they're there and they try. They just don't succeed the way they do in the books.
And then the only reason that Perrin, this is questionable, but it would be fun if Matt, because in these moments Matt gets some really cool tactical stuff. And so if he then shows up and is able to use his fucking memory shit to then help get the city back afterwards, that might be cool. Yeah, I don't know.
That would be a fun loss. That's a good place to put it.
Yeah.
Because then you condense Perrin's, you do all of Perrin's stuff just in Cairhien. And you can trim so much out of his plotline that isn't. You can do you can throw the axe into the tree. Have it be what's left of Avenda Sora or something to make it super thematically poignant or something. I don't know. Cool. I like that. That was a fun conversation.
Yeah, that's cool.
Trixie says, other than the main 5, what characters do you both want POVs from in the next book? Min. I want Min, Avienda, and Elaine to all have POVs about their relationship with Rand going into the last battle. Yeah, definitely. Fael. I would love a Fael POV. I think we'll get it, but
I'm interested in a Lanfear POV, to be honest.
Some Sindane action?
Yeah.
Oh, Moradin. I want Moradin POV to understand him better as the main villain.
Yeah.
Who else? Tam would be fun. Or any of the generals. I would love Davram, Rodell. Yeah. Any of the generals are fun. I like their POVs.
Yeah, I definitely enjoyed the Ituralde POVs.
More Andral. I really like the Andral POVs in Towers of Midnight.
True.
That's one I've been thinking about the most since we finished the book.
Andral and Pavara are S tier together. Yeah.
Do you think one of them bonds the other? Is Andral who Pavara bonds?
Well, you know what? That would be super interesting then if Andral became the head of the Black Tower.
Ooh. And has a red as his wife?
Well, but that's it. If she's Amyrlin and he's the leader of the Black Tower and they're bonded, I think that'd be fucking rad as hell.
Christian Rapper, I know we always get POVs from the 3 girls, Elaine, Min, and Avi. I just would like specifically POVs that get into their relationship to Rand going into the last battle.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I specifically how they're feeling about him and where their relationships are at. Because that matters to me, and it doesn't matter to this series as much as it does to me. And so I would like to spend more time with that. No, I'm not saying that as a negative. I'm just saying the series doesn't care about that as much as I do.
Yeah.
And so but it is something that I do care about, and so I want to see more of it going into the end.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Definitely more Moraine too.
Isathris asks, so if our main characters were transported to the universe of The Expanse, how would they cope? And likewise, would the crew of the Rocinante, let's also include Bobby and Avasarala, cope with life in Randland? Oh my god.
Well, I think Rand would do fine because he has memories of the Age of Legends, so the technology wouldn't freak him out as much.
That's true. Same with Matt.
Yeah, no, Matt doesn't have Age of Legends memories.
Oh, you're right. It's all after
only
the
go
Age
back
of Legends.
to
Right.
Fall Course. I think everyone else would do terribly. I think they would do absolutely awful.
Probably.
Yeah, and even Rand would do terribly. Like, honestly, like, I think that if you pull people into the future and into technology... Who don't even have
trains?
Yeah.
Like...
The ability to conceptualize a screen would be so hard for them.
Or even a photograph.
Yeah.
Right?
Look at this photograph. No, because they've seen a painting. But, like, a moving video? Can you imagine them watching Aaron Wright's video?
They'd be like, what does this mean? What does it mean?
I think the Rosie crew would do really well in the past.
Yeah.
They're literally rocket scientists.
Yeah, they would be fine.
They would be fine.
Go in the other direction. Although they show up and there's like a world with magic, that's kind of nutso. But like, I think they could figure it out.
Yeah, but they also deal with the protomolecule.
True.
Like, it's not even that crazy.
True. You're right.
I think that they would be fine. Bobby would do the best.
Yeah.
Bobby would cure this Dark One bullshit in 20 days.
Yeah. God Emperor of Mankind asks, if you could give Tom any instrument that we have in the modern day and have him be proficient with that instrument, what would you give him?
The skin
An accordion.
Flute.
The what?
You heard me.
A skin flute. What is that?
A penis.
What?
You've never heard of it as playing the skin flute?
No, I haven't, and I wish that it had stayed that way.
Ooh, no. Wait. Going back to the last question, Expanse. Actually, I think that Randland is Earth gravity, so Bobby might be a little bit like weak.
That's true. Bobby's fucked.
All of our main characters in the Expanse are mostly space people.
Yeah.
Right? Because even Holden hasn't been in gravity in...
Avasarala would be fine, and that's it.
Yeah, but Holden hasn't been in gravity in 10 years.
His like bones and stuff are still like he was still born on Earth, so he's that
advantage. He would him and Amos would be better off, but like they still haven't gone to full gravity, and
that'd be rough.
That's interesting.
Wonder if there's a weave for that.
Yeah, no, I would give Tom I would give him a guitar, like, or the piano.
Piano. I don't know, he doesn't really feel like a piano person to me. Give him any instrument. Problem is, like, so many of our instruments are like modern day like versions. I would give him the electric fiddle. There you go. Yeah.
All right. Sean Ashaman says, after reading 2 Wheel of Time books written by Sanderson, how well do you feel he's doing finishing up RJ's series? What do you feel he is working or not? I think it's mostly working. I think he's doing a great job.
Yeah, I think we kind of answered a lot of that near the beginning.
I mean, both of his books are in like the top half of, and I would put Gathering Storm at number 2 right now. So I would say he's doing a pretty dang good job because they're among my favorite Wheel of Time books.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, I feel like it's working. I think Sanderson brought like a certain focus to the books, and I think that like the two of them working together on this has been incredible, truly.
Arzu, thank you for that super chat.
Thank you for the super chat.
Avasarala would kick Cat Swain to the curb. Yes. Because Avasarala would try different tactics.
Yes.
And Cat Swain doesn't.
Demetrios asks, you've read 14 books and over 4 million words. Crazy. How does it feel to know you'll probably never read a single series as long as this again?
I doubt that. I don't think that's true. I've been thinking about reading the Warhammer 40k books, and that's like 36 books, and it's definitely more than 4 million words. So
that's wild.
I don't know. I don't...
Maybe we'll read Redfall. Isn't Redfall like...
Redfall?
Yeah. Isn't there like 20 books?
Oh, is there? I don't know. I don't believe, given what this book club is and how I don't plan to end the book club anytime soon, that this is the longest series we will read.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I don't have an opinion on the question just because I genuinely would not be surprised if we read something this long again.
Well, and I think Sanderson's stuff is pretty, like, intertwined.
If you consider if you consider all of the Cosmere, that will probably be longer than this.
Yeah.
But if you consider Cosmere to be like Mistborn and Stormlight Archives and like the different things.
Yeah, I hear you. Joe G, thank you for that super chat. Jules Pierre Mount dropped into Wheel of Time. eviscerated.
No, a genius. He's a literal genius.
I hate him.
Like, he would be one of the Forsaken, but he would do so well. He would be the most competent Forsaken.
True, honestly.
The Forsaken would actually be a threat to Rand if Jules Pierre-Mal was one of them.
Yeah. He would
Pratik,
be the new Semiraj.
Pratik says Stormlight currently sits at 2.2 million words. So yeah, we'll get there.
Oh, wow, yeah.
I don't know. I feel like Cosmere is probably going to be as long. Mm-hmm. Pandoria says, can you each give a wild prediction for the end of the series?
How wild? Gandalf shows up with the Rohirrim and they ride into a Helm's Deep.
Rand saves Lanfear from her Corsovra, and she ends up being the fifth member of the party. Min, Avienda,
and... adds another woman?
Yeah. And so he has 5 with Alana. Alana dies. To try and make up for what she did to Rand.
I could see that happening, actually. That seems pretty in line.
What's your wild prediction?
I told you, Gandalf rides in with the Rohirrim.
Oh, okay.
They said wild prediction. Okay, wild prediction is that Shara actually shows up to become a part of the series, and they amass with the rest of the 20 Shaido that are left, and they ride to the waste. Surprise! The Dark One is actually at Ruidian. That's my bold prediction. Does it make sense? Absolutely not.
Luka Artanovic says, will you upload more One Piece content? Yeah, I'm going to keep going with it.
Yeah.
It's going to speed up, though. I'm not going to do 1 episode a week.
Fair enough.
So there is going to be a lot more One Piece content on that channel.
Yeah.
But only on that channel. None of it will be here because I don't want to risk the main channel.
Yes.
So then we get back to, I told you guys at the beginning of this podcast, Colonel Sanders' first question, what do you think the fox is meant by and the gambler becomes the center of all? He's going to be important to the last battle.
He becomes the center of it, the center of all. He becomes the liquid core of the earth. They use his Taviran power.
He gets melted down and put into many D20s, and it's the liquid core mat set, and it's just his liquefied body.
That's awful. I don't know. The center of all.
I think that like the series, the last battle revolves around an action that he has to make in the last battle.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm worried my shirt isn't centered either.
No, yours is centered. It's just weird because there's an empty space here, right?
Yeah.
No, yours is centered.
I might I wish it was just a little bit higher, but whatever.
Really?
Doesn't matter. I don't know.
Right across the chest. I feel like it's perfect.
Father Jusum says, we know about the Towers of Midnight, but what are the Towers of Dawn, the Towers of Brunch, the Towers of 420? I don't think he knows about the Towers of Second Breakfast Pippin. Demetrios says, final prediction time, light versus dark. Who dies? Guys, okay. All right. We have said who we think's going to die and who we think's going to live. Mm-hmm. Said it.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry, Demetrios.
Yeah. Appreciate the question, but yeah.
And I appreciate you, but we're moving on to Trixie464.
No, I want to know what the Towers of Brunch are.
Can we go there after this for food?
Uh-huh.
I'm hungry.
Uh-huh. Thought we were relaxing after book club.
We are, but I'm going to eat something.
Okay.
I think I'm going to have some sweet potato crackers and...
Oh, I thought you were like, let's go brunch. And I was like,
No, I need food, though. I'm very hungry right now. Mm-hmm. Trixie says, if possible, how hard do you think it will be for Avienne and the Aiel to change the future that she saw in Ruidian? Barely an inconvenience.
No, I don't think so. I think it's going to be I think it's going to be close. The problem is I don't really know how you show that.
Well, we don't know how it happened in the first place. We only know the events afterwards.
Yeah. So, that's tough.
I think that if the future Ruidian stuff had shown any actions that our characters took, explicit actions, then we could see how they're different. But one of the weird things about that is that it was like a warning of the events, but not the actions. So no matter what our characters do, we won't know if they succeeded because we don't know what they changed.
Yeah.
Unless Rand is like, I demand the Aiel participate in the peace. And then I'll be like, well, okay, but the Sanshin are still going to Sanshin. Like, wow.
Yeah. Wow.
So I don't know. I don't know how hard it's going to be. But probably hard enough that there will be like a chapter dedicated to it.
Yeah, probably. I hope we get a little... I hope we shed a little more light on how
the epilogue of this series is 12 hours long.
What?
It's a 12-hour epilogue.
Oh.
A Memory of Light. It's half the book.
Wait, the epilogue is? I thought... So,
the epilogue is half of the book.
The last battle is 9 hours.
Yep.
So that's almost half the book as well? Like, if 12 hours is, like, almost half the book, then 9 hours is a third of the book? Like...
Yeah. And the prologue is 3 hours.
What?
Yeah.
So is the prologue... So does the last battle start in chapter 1? You're shitting. You're both shitting me. Okay. I was like, I don't understand how that could possibly work.
Sometimes I just say things and you just like go with them.
Lanfear's bow.
Thank you for lunch. Let's go.
Yeah.
I'm ordering skip the dishes, kids. I'm getting some IHOP.
We have bacon.
Is it so good?
Probably.
Bacon.
We have bacon.
Gonna make some bacon after book club.
Oh my god.
Gonna make some bacon after book club.
Thank you so much for that super duper chat.
All right. We're not gonna make a crazy lunch. But after we drop the stuff off at Holly's house, since Lanfear Bow's paying, what if we have like a nice little den?
That sounds nice.
What if we had a little steak tonight? Little meat.
Little steaks. Steaks for our characters.
Steaks. Anyway. Thank you so much, Lanfear's Bow. That is incredibly kind.
Nice, actually.
We will post photos of our delicious dinner in the Discord.
Sure.
The only place where we can talk about certain things, so join up. There is this cafe in Toronto that has the best breakfast.
I believe you.
You should say what it is. Because there's a lot of cafes in Toronto.
There's a few of them, yeah. M- says, with some of the prophecies/visions as early as book 1 referencing things in book 13, what things do you think RJ has planned out by the end of the Eye of the World, and what had planned out by the end of Eye of the World, and what do you think he added in later? Do you think all the prophecies had set meanings, or do you think he just made up some cool sounding prophecies and then worked out what they meant as he wrote and developed the world? No, I think it's a mixture of both. I think as a writer, sometimes you get to a point and you're like, this is not going to work the way that I thought it was going to. Yeah. And that's just the nature of like creative art. And so I think some things definitely were planned out. And then I think some things had to be jiggered around. I don't know.
Yeah.
Is that a word?
I think that a lot of the prophecies are vague enough that there is some leeway in accomplishing them. Not in a way that I think is bad, in a way I think is smart. And I think the prophecies are well written. But like, you can kind of... They're not super strict, thankfully.
Yeah.
But there's definitely stuff... I think like the relationship between Matt and his magic, Perrin and his magic, and Rand and his magic, that was very clearly set. Because there's a lot of wolf, raven, dragon stuff that is pretty consistent across the series.
Right.
So I feel like that stuff was pretty thought out.
Yeah. But like, for example, I feel like the memories thing, like Matt's character kind of just felt like it was like, we kind of need to do something with this character.
Yeah. No, there's definitely elements of that. But also, like, I think the magic in Eye of the World is very different than the way it works in the rest of the series. So, like, there's a lot that feels very thought out, and there's a lot that feels like it wasn't very thought out.
Yeah. So. Yeah, for sure.
Joe G, thank you for that super chat.
Thank you.
Preferred Star Wars series for another book club. I am considering doing a High Republic book club. That would be a separate podcast from this. That would be specifically a Star Wars High Republic podcast.
Yeah.
I don't know when that would start, but I do want to read all of the High Republic, and I haven't read any of it. I own almost all of it. I just haven't read it. And so, I'm thinking of doing a High Republic thing.
You should ask Moly.
To do a podcast with me?
Yeah, I don't know.
The girl's busy.
Yeah.
She's got a certain point of view.
I just know she loves High Republic.
Yeah, she got that tattoo. But she's read it all. I would kind of want to find someone who's like...
Who hasn't read it all.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So gotcha. That they could go... Well, or, no, it might be fun to... Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. It'd be an interesting dynamic.
Yeah.
Then I'll do a podcast with Alex about...
Where he explains things to you.
Sure, yeah.
I would love a YouTube video where Alex teaches you to drive.
What? No.
Yesterday I was driving and Clarus was asking me questions about how the windshield wipers worked. And there was a moment where I was sitting there
because you were flicking it manually.
Yeah, because I just to fiddle with it. But the fact that you didn't know how it worked, I was like, oh yeah, you don't drive. You've never played with this stuff before.
Nope.
It's just one of those things where I it's so second nature to me.
Yeah.
That for an adult to ask me that question is bizarre.
Yeah.
It would be if you were how do smartphones work? And I'd be like, wow.
What is Google?
Yeah. What do you mean Google it? You know what I mean? I'd look at you what are you, crazy? Pat Pepper Guy says Heir to the Empire Zon original. I have read that already. So I don't know that I could book club something that I've read multiple times
Nerdy loves that one.
I like Timothy Zahn's writing. I haven't actually read his new Thrawn trilogy yet, though.
Although I haven't read it.
Do you want to do a Thrawn?
I don't know.
Do you want to read... I don't think you like it.
Okay, fair
It's Star Wars, but if Star Wars was Star Trek.
I like Star Trek.
It is the closest thing Star Wars has to Star Trek because it's because Thrawn is so analytical. No, it's not utopian. But it's very sciencey. It's very technical. Thrawn is just very Thrawn is more technical than Star Wars typically gets.
Gotcha.
Because the way his brain works, it's very cool. I like him a lot as a character, but
all right, that's fun.
I'm mostly positive on how he's handled on Rebels.
Yep. Sorry.
Yeah. All right, let's keep going here. Now that
Yes.
Yeah, and now that Who Killed Asmodean, Sean, thanks for the question. Now that Who Killed Asmodean has been revealed, what other dangling mysteries, plotlines do you wish to be wrapped up? I honestly, if they're gonna be wrapped up the same way that one was, I don't really care. Just keep going forward. Just let it be a mystery.
Yeah, I don't really know how you, because at this point, adding something in here would just feel like a retcon. We had to make it interesting and do something with it, and I think you just leave it.
Yeah, if it's gonna be as kind of a non-thing as that was.
Yeah,
just leave it. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Don't it's not worth bringing up again. If the answer is gonna be, it was just this person that it doesn't really mean anything that they're the one that did it. This is just it's more like the who is the Wikipedia answer rather than the story answer. And I don't care about Wikipedia answers. I want story. I want to know why Graendal killed Asmodean then, and we're never gonna get that because she's dead now, and so I just don't.
So
I
it
don't
doesn't
care.
matter.
All right, it was Graendal. Cool.
Sure.
Cool.
Yeah.
I guess.
Second question, what is the one plot line that you wish either got more time spent on it or less time?
So I want to know why Graendal killed Asmodean at the time that she did, because...
More time with that would be cool. Also, less time with the Shido would also be cool.
The Sea Folk. I want to know why... I just want to know why they're in this series at all. We spent so much time with something that literally went fucking nowhere.
Yeah. There's still time for them to matter, but at this point it's kind of like, meh. Third question, what would you like the end state of the world to be? Not what you think Jordan Sanderson will actually do, but what would you prefer for yourself? I think I answered this at the beginning. The more Age of Legends equality and not men should run things or women should run things based on what genitalia they have, but based on their actual merits as human beings.
I think the one power is gone. And... magic is just gone. When the dark one is excised from the world, and we realize that the dark one is not the evils of man, but rather the corruption of magic. And magic gets completely just kind of wiped out because the powers inherently corrupt.
What happens to all the people who can channel then, who die of sadness because of this thing is
they
cut
die.
Off? Oh, that's dark.
Yeah. The whole world becomes a steading.
Okay.
I think it would be interesting to have the dark one be taken out and there be a consequence, right? And so the consequence is there is no more magic.
Yeah.
And people have to live their lives, right? And what does that mean in a world with magic?
Yeah.
For it to go away and for the world's relationship with how to accomplish things changes. And then it cuts to 1,000 years in the future, and we have a patriarchy, and women are oppressed, and it's all very sad. And that's obviously not what I want to happen. I'm just saying that.
Right.
Knowing mankind.
Father Jerusalem, welcome back to the Nerd Table. Super late because I've been watching the Women's World Cup at stupid times of night. Is that soccer? The World Cup is soccer, right?
Yes.
I crushed that one.
It's the Women's World Cup right now, right?
What have I missed? Just recap everything from the beginning. Tangents and trolling questions and who killed Asmodean, and that's basically it.
Yeah.
That sums it up.
I'm on strike.
Yes, that is also true. Felix Ketchup asks, is the Golem still falling? Love you guys. You are fun and wise. Thank you. I don't know about wise, but I'll take fun.
No, I think it landed on some like random platform. It's on it's
in a different portal stone.
No, there's actually a sequel series coming out about it and that Aiel that fell. And they're trying to get out of there. And
the
it's just the two of them.
Golem and me.
The Aiel, the Golem, and me. Yeah.
Sure, yeah.
Rodney Straight says that would make the cleansing of Sidin meaningless. If Sidin went away, I don't think so. I think like that if you're going to get rid of the devil, you have to have consequences for the world. And I think losing magic is the consequence of getting rid of the devil.
Yeah, right? Like they cleansed it to achieve this task. The task. Like I think like that doesn't make it meaningless.
I think that you can't like I think it's meaningless if you accomplish getting rid of the devil and nothing changes. And the world just goes on without the dark one. You know what I mean? Like there has to be some sort of like there has to be some sort of impact. And maybe not all magic goes away, right? Like maybe just like certain kinds of magic go away, but
Shandar falls into the ocean and disappears.
Yeah, or like maybe like the like barrier between Sidon and Sidar disappears and it becomes more egalitarian in how you connect to it. Or you know, there just has to be some impact on it.
Yeah.
Taviran goes away. There's no more Taviran.
There's no more pattern.
That would be interesting in comparison to like no more magic. Would be
what if the pattern didn't like there was no more pattern?
Yeah, I would like that.
That'd be interesting.
Tell them our think of that super chat.
Thank you so much for that super chat. Appreciate it.
I don't know. I would if the Dark One is going to be actually defeated, then I would like for it to like really impact something, right? Like really like change something forever. And I don't know what I don't know. I don't know what that is. But yeah, I think there's an interesting version of this where yeah, like the consequence for channelers in using their channeling to get rid of the Dark One is that they also lose it. And like, what does that mean for the world moving forward? And a political system that has so heavily relied on the Aes Sedai when there are no more Aes Sedai.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True. Yeah. Hi, Lord Wiramon asks, would you be willing to do a series of videos like top 10 Wheel of Time moments, etc.? Feel like it would satiate a lot of fans who think you hate on this series too much, and it would also let you talk about only things you love about the series. Love your work. You are the only YouTubers I've ever bought a membership for. That's
a bad sign.
No, what do you mean?
Wiramon supports us.
No, yeah, you know what?
That's right. Not a good. That's I've done something wrong in my life.
I guess we're
Wiramon is like, these are my guys. Oh no.
No, thank you for that.
Am I the dark friend?
Am I the drama?
Am I the dark friend?
I think we're definitely gonna do those kinds of videos later on. Like, if we were to run a show, how would it look? What our character like tier ranking list is?
Yeah.
You know, top 10 moments. I think is a good one.
Top 10 Aes Sedai with an S name.
Yeah, like shit like that. I think that. We definitely want to keep making Wheel of Time content.
Y'all, I'm gonna milk the Wheel of Time for content until the day I die.
Yeah, we've loved this.
This series made me read Crossroads of Twilight. I'm going to get every ounce of value I can out of it in retribution. I will still be talking about the Wheel of Time when I'm 90. I'll be sitting in a fucking old folks' home in like the one country that isn't destroyed by the impending climate apocalypse. Just complaining to the alien creatures that have descended upon us and become our overlords about the Sanchin.
Yeah, you're like, so there's this thing. So the Wheel of Time.
We used to have these things called books before the earth became too hot to grow trees.
Jesus. Okay.
Oh, you know what I'm gonna do after after we finish these books? Go watch Dusty Wheel videos.
Yeah.
I love the Innkeeper so much, and we never get to watch his videos because I didn't watch his trailer thing on.
I know, because spoilers. Like we don't know. Like and it's unfair for us to expect other people to accommodate for where we're at.
Yeah.
Because we'll just go back afterwards. But yeah, we're gonna go watch other Wheel of Time content as well.
For the Moon, I will be Deckard Cain when I'm older. I will. I'm gonna talk like this.
I don't know who that is.
He's the member of the Herodrum in Diablo 1 through 3 that you constantly go to. He gives you your quest and he goes on the quest with you. He's like this old man. He identifies items for you in town.
Cool.
Yeah.
Fun.
He's part of an ancient order. Yeah, it's really cool. He's great. Deckard Cain is the best.
Sure.
Stay a while and listen. Oh my god, I fucking love him.
All right.
Dusty Wheel's trailer act was only spoilers through book 5, and chat was full spoilers. Yeah, that's why we avoid it.
Yeah, we don't know. We're so close to the end. If we got spoiled now, that would really suck.
Despite the best efforts of the Attack on Titan community. More says Oh, do we answer that question? Yeah, we're gonna do videos like that where I'm on. And I was joking about a mistake. I'm very grateful for your support. Your name is funny to me.
Mm-hmm.
Morses Prinmon says, in your opinion, what Forsaken would be behind the suits in Hollywood not paying their workers a livable wage? What about anti-abortion laws or the war in Ukraine? The war in Ukraine feels very
Demandred.
Or Samael.
Yeah. I think that Putin is about equivalent to one of the Forsaken.
Yeah, I'd say that.
Yeah.
Anti-abortion laws, Raven.
Definitely Raven. Yeah, gross. The livable wage, who would be behind that?
That one's tough.
That could be a Masana thing.
No, it's Graendal.
Graendal?
Yeah, because she likes to have all the prettiest people do what she wants.
Oh, Hollywood.
Yeah, it's Graendal.
Hollywood producers. Yeah. Graendal is definitely the one behind that. Yeah. Yeah, no, you crushed it. Well done. That was a good poll.
Yeah. This is Dimitrios. What's your checklist for the last book? What needs to be done for the series to have a satisfactory conclusion?
What has to happen? Oh.
That's really hard. Because I don't know. Nothing has to happen, in my opinion. Because the series hasn't really set up what the,
yes.
necessary events are.
Yes, which in a way is kind of interesting. I know you've wanted more clarification on what the last battle is and how we go about that and everything like that. But I will say that the one upside to not having those kinds of clarification is that the last battle can kind of be anything, and I don't have things that I want or need to happen. So that is kind of cool in its own regard. Because genuinely, I'm like, fuck if I know. Obviously, Rand has to wield Kalendor with Min with Nynaeve and someone else, and it seems like it kind of has to go wrong. There's some kind of trap in there, or he's not the one to wield it. Kalendor has to be involved somehow, and the seals, and that's it. That's kind of other than that, I have no fucking clue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I think I think for me, I just want it to I just want to feel like the ending matters.
I want to sweat a little.
Yeah, I want to sweat a little bit.
Sweat a little bit. Mm-hmm.
I just want to feel like I want to feel like the characters give a shit. And I'm not saying that they don't typically. I just I think that sometimes you can get to an ending and it's just kind of and we did it, the end. And I don't know. I want consequences. I think that that's what I want. I want there to be consequences. I want there to be difficulty. I want there to be I want it to be important in a bigger way than just victory.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's fair.
Yeah.
I hear you.
Bazimian, thank you for that super chat.
Oh, thank you for the super chat. Let's go.
Any plans for reactions to the Wheel of Time story? Wait, what? River of Souls written by Sanderson, as well as a George R. Martin's Wheel of Time Game of Thrones crossover? I didn't know either of those existed. I thought we did all the short stories when we did
Strike and Ravens.
Yeah, we'll probably do River of Souls at some point.
Sure. Yeah, probably. I didn't know that was a thing.
Father Jerusalem, I read your comment. I don't want to talk about that just for what's in theaters right now.
We're on strike.
Josh Timko, squeezing in one last one, lol.
One last question.
Towers of Midnight is certainly a book with flaws, but it also has some of the most iconic moments of the series. This week, could you each do 2 highs and 2 lows for the penultimate book? This is a great place to end because we're at the end of the questions.
Yeah.
We're going to do 2 highs and 2 lows.
Okay.
I don't really want to do 2 lows. Can we do 2 highs and 1 low?
Yeah, I think that's a fair compromise.
I'll do 2 highs, a mid, and a low.
A mid?
Yeah.
What's a mid?
A mid is like something that was kind of mid about the book. But isn't like a low. It was just kind of mid.
Here's the thing. I don't know if this book doesn't have like lows for me. The lows are kind of just mid.
So we'll do 2 highs, 2 mids.
Sure. 2 highs, 2 mids. You heard it here, folks.
Baron's Brush, thank you for joining the Nargs.
Welcome to the Nerd
Will the last
Table.
battle chapter be a reaction video? We don't know yet.
We don't know.
We don't know yet.
Y'all are mad lads, and
I might sit here and paint for 9 hours.
that would be bonkers.
You know what your high is for this book?
The whole book. The whole book.
So high-low is a thing that we do here, or high-mid, because we did it when I was a kid growing up. At the dinner table in my blended family, got my stepsisters, previously mentioned on the episode. We would commiserate over each other's lows, celebrate each other's highs, because it brought us together as a family. Clarus, being my wife, is now technically from my family, and legally, and also just like literally, in every way, she's my family. And so in order to bring our bond closer together, not that we need to get closer than we usually are, because we never do anything separately, except when she gets her hair dyed.
That's true.
We do this with you to get closer to you, chat. And so this is high-low, high-mid, whatever we want to call it.
Yeah, and you drop yours as well. I invite you to drop it here or in the Discord. And if you're not part of the Discord, join the Discord. And if you are a patron, you can link your Patreon account to the Discord, and there's like a secret Patreon Discord channel. All those things are true, and you should proceed as you will.
Yeah, so we're going to do it this way. You're going to do your high. I'm going to do my mid. You're going to do your mid. I'm going to do my high. You're going to do your second high, and I'll do my second high. So I'll end with all highs. So go high, mid, mid, high, high, high.
Sure. Yeah.
I feel like that wasn't that complicated.
Yeah.
Cool.
My high.
Right.
Okay. I'm pretty sure it happened in this book. Galad killing Bayer is in this book, right? That is the prologue of this book.
Bayer?
Not Bayer, fucking Valda.
No, that was...
That was last book?
No, that was Knife of Dreams.
What? No, it wasn't.
Galad kills Valda in the prologue of Knife of Dreams.
No, he doesn't.
Yes, he does.
No, he doesn't.
That was 2.
No, he doesn't.
At this point, that was essentially 3 books ago.
No, I think you're lying to me.
It was the prologue of Knife of Dreams, because it's my favorite part of Knife of Dreams. That was... Your high of Towers of Midnight is 3 books ago.
Fuck. There's a lot of Galad in this book, I'm sorry, and so his storyline is... Shut up.
That wasn't even written by Brandon Sanderson.
Doesn't matter.
We read that like 4 months ago.
If you say so. I'm gonna have to take your word for that.
Oh my god.
I guess wait, No.
High, okay? No. Wait a second. When did we do... When was the Knife of Dreams episode of this fucking podcast?
It was a month ago. It doesn't matter.
No, it was not a month ago. Knife of Dreams prologue was... Sorry, I have to go back a whole page. The Knife of Dreams prologue was March 3rd, 2023.
Sure. Whatever you say. What are you doing?
Did you just delete all of our... Okay, no.
What?
I thought you deleted all of our live streams. Okay.
How would I have done that?
I don't know, but they disappeared for a second.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Yeah, no, we're still going.
We read that on March 3rd.
Sure. If you say so. I believe you.
That is truly something special. Your favorite thing about this book was something we read. You probably read in February.
Sure. Fair enough. Look. There's some good Galad stuff in this book. Okay,
Buyer does die in this book.
Yeah, no, that's not my high. That's not my high. It was a really cool moment. You know, definitely deserves recognition.
M, thank you for that super chat. Subscribe back then for the Attack on Titan, but want to support it through the strike. Thank you so much. Can't wait for new anime content and good luck for the roleplay event. Appreciate it. Roleplay relay. Merch. Available. Places.
It's gonna be a thing.
Is that a positive AOT related super chat? Look, Attack on Titan fans aren't all bad. It's just like the 3 ones that harassed us.
Yeah.
I'm honestly, it might have been one person doing it on multiple accounts. We'll never know.
True. We'll never know.
But thank that person for their money.
I went into my Twitter DM request, and there was that dude was trying to spoil a Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood for me, and I was just cackling because I was like, I've seen this.
Someone with an anime profile picture left me a voice chat.
A voice
chat? Like an audio chat.
Yeah, don't open that.
Wait, no, should I play it on stream?
No, because if it's spoilers. Yeah, don't fucking do that. Why would you do that?
Fuck.
No, what the hell's wrong with you?
We'll play it for chat. We won't listen to it.
No, because chat doesn't not spoilers either. No, just don't fucking play with fire like that.
But I want to know what Gabe sent me. Guys, Gabe sent me a...
Don't show their information.
What? They sent me a voice chat. I want to know what it says.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
I'm going to record it.
No! Delete it!
No, I'm not. I want to know.
Oh my god.
I want to know.
You're the worst.
Can you show me? It's content.
No.
It's content. I gotta listen to it.
Send it to me. Blue, you would need the Nerdy's Twitter.
No, I'll record it, and then I'll send it to Blue.
How are you going to record it without listening to it?
I will put on Critical Role, and then I'll record it. That's not that hard.
Oh my god. I can't. I literally can't. My high...
Well, now I've shown his info on here, so we have to find out if it's a spoiler or not, to find out if he was just a chill dude who sent a voice message, or if we need to be mad at him.
Sending a voice message to a stranger? Yeah, that's a totally normal thing to do. I get normal voice chats from strangers all the time. Very, very normal.
Blue, I'll send it to you later.
God damn it.
So do you have a high from this book? Is there anything you liked about Towers of Midnight Colors, or do you want to talk about things we read in February?
Shut up. I'm sorry, I've tried to put this sequence of events into my head for what happened in this book.
Remember when Galad killed Emin Valda?
Shut up. What's my high? Okay, I think...
Did you like anything about this book?
Yeah, I really liked it generally overall. And so trying to remember the specific moment has been tough.
Okay.
I actually really like the Perrin trial section, which I know kind of feels unnecessary and not
That was in the Gathering Storm.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it was.
No, because they're here at the beginning of this.
Okay, yeah, I was kidding that time.
Oh my god, I was like,
I was hoping that you'd be gullible again, and I'd get you, but...
Jesus Christ. No, the trial where Morghese passes judgment, and it's a whole it's still a fair trial, but it is integral to Perrin's actual character as a person, and same with Morghese and Galad, and I think that was just a really really cool culmination of all of these people being together at once, and that was a definite high from this book.
So I'm dropping my mid in here. My mid. Actually, I can go my low. My low is so easy. It's a low too.
I thought we were only doing mids.
Yeah, I know, but I'm going to go my low. Because it's Tuon being I have a special chair in this room to watch slaves get broken because it calms me.
You stole mine.
It just ruins Matt for me. It really, I'm struggling, y'all. I'm honestly struggling with it because it makes Matt such a difficult character for me. Because I want to love him. Because when he's away from Tuon, I think he's such a great character. But him loving her is such a, it's such a thing.
Yeah.
That makes him terrible. And I hate it.
That's fair. Yeah. Really, yeah. It's the only moment of this book where I was like, ugh. So it's got to be my low. But then I guess I'll do like my mid.
Yeah, it's your mid time.
Yeah. So something that like I didn't hate about the book, but like was super weird to me was the Nakomi stuff.
Yeah.
That was just like mid. I was like, this could be cool if there's context, like if there's a reason for this. You know, I am open to that being a thing, but in the context that I have, I was like, the fuck is going on? So yeah, Nakomi is like my mid.
My high is when Rand gets to the Eye of the World and he uses it to take out Agenor and Belthamel. I thought that was just like really cool, wonderful sequence of events to happen in Towers of Midnight. You know, when he fight and obviously Moraine's part in fighting them as well. I just thought it's a great part of this book.
Yeah, do you remember how that all went down? You should give us a play-by-play of what you remember from that. Is if it's your high and all, you know. Yeah, go for it.
That's actually really interesting. Do you?
Yeah, I just listened to it.
Oh, that's right. Because the only question I have about it, I think in my head, is that I can't remember which one's which. Agenor and Belthamel.
Oh, I mean, they're kind of interchangeable for me, but
because like I remember the events of like Moraine holding the one and the Green Man fucking clobbering him.
Yeah, that was Agenor.
That's Agenor, okay. And then Rand using essentially like balefire, maybe? No, it can't be balefire.
It wasn't balefire.
But it was like a beam of light? ?
He like incinerated him, but it's not balefire because he was able to come back.
I remember the sequence of events.
I think.
Rand flashing to Torwin's Gaptooth and using the power to murk the Trolloc army. I remember it. It's a great moment. My favorite moment's the Tower of Midnight. That's tough. Here's the thing. As much as I don't think this book congeals into one of the top books, it has so many great moments, right? But my first high is going to be Egwene in the room with Masana. That whole fight is really interesting and fun. There's a lot of great stuff going on. But my favorite moment of it is Egwene when she's got the Adama around her neck and her just being like, this isn't real, and then breaking Masana's brain with that. I think that sequence of events is so great. Yeah. And I really like that.
Yeah.
You literally were wrong. It is Balthamel and Agenor is the one that Rand fights.
Honestly, the two of them are so interesting.
I love that you're like, I know what happened because I just listened to it.
Yeah, I know what happened. Do I know who's who? Absolutely fucking not.
The confidence with which you questioned me on it, though, I was like, oh,
Question you on what?
When you were like, well, do you remember what happened?
Yeah, go for it. What's the sequence of events?
I just told you, and I was mostly right. And then you said no, it was Agenor, and you were wrong. I was more right than you are. Let's go to your high. I did not forget about the Green Man. I literally said
forgot about the Black Cord.
I literally said Moraine holds the one, and the Green Man hits him, and you said yes, that's Agenor, and it was Belthamel. I mentioned the Green Man.
Yeah, you did not lay out a sequence of events. You were like, these are a couple things that happened.
Are we fighting?
Yeah,
there was one fucking letter.
No. It's okay to be wrong.
I hate you. I hate that I get mad at you and then you just smile like that and look so pretty and it makes things okay and I can't be mad anymore because you're just so attractive.
This is what happens
and
when
like
you try
it's
to
not
troll me.
fair.
You try to
just
troll
go.
Me. You're like, oh yeah, so my favorite thing that happened in this book was something from book 1. You think I'm just gonna fucking let that slide?
No, but it's not that you let it slide. It's that you challenged me on it.
Yeah.
But you were wrong. That you were so confident, like, I just listened to this. I know what happened. And then you were confidently wrong.
I know the sequence of events would happen. Do I know who is who? Never. The answer to that is
okay, but you
never.
just said that you did.
No, that I remember.
You challenged me on it, and you challenged me on it, and then you're like, I know what happened.
I know what happened. Yeah.
And then you said you didn't mention the Green Man. I did mention the Green Man.
Yeah, you forgot the Black Pulsing Cord.
I didn't forget the Black Pulsing Cord.
Yeah,
I just didn't bring it up.
Oh.
Because I said that he... Okay. Do you want me to go like the whole fucking 9 yards there?
Yeah. I was
Rand is like looking at a Black Pulsing Cord in space and he doesn't know what it is and he grasps it and he turns it to white light, which he uses to destroy Agenor. The person you said was destroyed by the Green Man, but that was Belthamel. Let's move on to your high.
You're welcome.
Can you name another event that happens in this book?
In this book? Yes. Perrin and Egwene actually finally meet.
Oh,
after like 25 books. That's my other high, is the moment where, Egwene is like, it's really dangerous here. Or no, Perrin is like, it's dangerous here. And Egwene is like, the fuck it is. And she like tries to put ropes on Perrin. And Perrin is like, no. And she's like, wait, how did you do that? It's great. That whole sequence, fantastic. how the Dream Spike, played into it, fantastic. And it allowed for the sequence of events to lead into your high with Masana. I loved it.
Light Blinded Fool says, this is the angriest high-low in history, and I'm here for it.
You're welcome.
We've been trying to, like, sleep train ourselves to wake up earlier for the relay, and I feel like it's made us both a little punchy. I feel like all week we've both been a little bit quick to be snippy.
I'm just doing it for the content.
Is that why you... Never mind. I thought that was a fair... I said both of us. I wasn't like... I am hungry, Light Blinded Fool.
That's true.
Another high in this book. It's tough. There's so many great moments. But like when I try and think of like a high level book, I try and think of something that has larger consequences.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I don't want to just do my highs from the previous sections, but those were the highs of the section, so they do kind of end up being the highs.
Totally, yeah.
Of the book. You know what? I think it's going to be Perrin's charge. I love that both mine are Perrin. It's Perrin's charge down the hill.
Shocking. To save Galad?
Yeah. That shit was pretty fucking fire.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, and just like, fucking... Verlaine be like, please don't kill him. He's so hot.
So beautiful.
No,
he can't die.
He's so pretty. You can't attack him. And Perrin's like, what? I'm not attacking him.
What the hell's wrong with you? Why would I attack him?
I don't know. I enjoyed that sequence of events. It's fun. It's a great battle. It's cool.
Yeah.
I go with that.
Yeah, I love that battle and like the Bayar Bornhold moment within that.
Oh, and all of Rodell's stuff in Meridon's great.
True.
Yeah, the like planning, the dropping bodies, but to hide the fact that the drag car are gonna fly in. I thought that was like that's such a fun sequence.
That was wild.
Yeah.
The one that I'm surprised didn't make it on the list was I know it affected you, but like the moment in the like prologue with the kind of unnamed people, not unnamed, but like they're now dead, defending the towers and the little boy who stays behind.
Oh, yeah. That shit was fire.
It was also a really, really, really good moment. So I think that gets an honorable mention.
Definitely. 100%.
Because, like, woof.
What's so sad is that I feel like Lan had a lot of big moments in this book, and I love the character, and the Lan stuff doesn't really work for me.
Yep.
And, like, that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
I wish that I liked the Lan stuff in this book more. But the reasoning behind all of it is just so... It just doesn't connect for me. And I know that it connects for other people, and I'm not saying that like you're wrong or anything. It just doesn't connect for me, and I wish that it did.
Yeah.
Because I love Lan as a character so much, and this like, I've got to go die, but not in the last battle that you're currently fighting. It's just not my.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
Apple's First was awesome too. Yeah, Apple's First is a great chapter. There's great moments in this book.
There's so fucking many good ones. Yeah.
Yeah, it really is. It just I just don't think that as a book it holds together in the same way that Gathering Storm does.
Yeah,
it's not that it's bad. It's just that I thought Gathering Storm was a fucking ride to go on, and I loved it. And this was a really good book. Yeah. And like, you know, it's just, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go eat. If you like this video, like and subscribe to the channel. If you don't, hit the dislike button. Leave me comments down below because the algorithm god is hungry and we must feed her this episode that algorithm goddess is.
Nakomi.
Why?
I don't know.
I don't usually question your choices for algorithm goddess, but this time I'm kind of questioning.
I don't know.
I guess she's literally be God.
Yeah, she's probably hungry for something.
If you want, leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts in the next 3 weeks before the next episode. The next episode will be the prologue plus some others of A Memory of Light. I actually don't know how much more. It might just be the prologue.
Well, yeah.
Do you want to run and grab the book really quick?
Yeah.
We should read the beginning of the book.
The first thingy.
Yeah, we do always read the beginning of the book, so... Christian Rapper says, the Gathering Storm was so dark, I didn't like it until I went back through it with you guys. That might be why I like it. I will write another stronger worded letter, but he never writes the stronger worded letter. Let me see it really quick. All right, so...
It's a beautiful teal color.
It is a beautiful book. Yeah, I feel like it should be like pure white, but...
Okay.
Whatever. I don't work at Tor. Oh, there's a map in it.
Yeah.
By Grace and Banners Fallen is the prologue.
Do we read the first?
No. It's only 68 pages.
Oh.
That's not a full week.
No. God, no. No.
What's like 200 pages?
We're gonna have to chat with y'all. We do need to figure out the book split.
I feel like we'll probably do like prologue through the end of 7.
I don't know. Dakuna's usually pretty good at like sussing things out.
Pages. Yeah, I just mean,
Yeah.
All right, and then I want to see chapter 37.
Don't get spoiled.
I'm not gonna get spoiled. I'm not gonna read anything.
Just like flicking through it. God, it's a hefty boy. Is this all one chapter?
Yeah, we're not there yet.
What the hell?
All right. Chapter 37, The Last Battle, begins on 676 and ends on 892. It is 220. That is a full week of reading.
Yeah.
For book club.
Yeah.
220. That's a novel.
Yeah, I think we talked about...
I think that's longer than Harry Potter, right? It's longer than Philosopher's Stone. Did I get that right? That The Last Battle is longer than the Philosopher's Stone?
I don't know. I think like including 38 with 37 has been talked about because there's a lot of like resolution or
and 38 is only 2 pages.
Yeah, like it's very short.
4 pages.
All
right.
38 and 39 has to be in that section or you will feel tortured.
All right.
So...
Do you want to read the beginning of the book, babe?
Yeah.
I'm mad at you, by the way.
You're mad at me?
Yeah, we're fighting.
Aw, I'm sorry.
Clarice and I are fighting.
About
it's
what?
the first time we've ever fought.
What are we fighting about?
That's a good question. What are we fighting about? What do couples fight about?
You didn't tell me you were going out with the boys. Should have texted me.
When have I ever gone out with the boys?
I'm trying to figure out what couples fight about.
If I was going out with the boys, you'd be like, have fun, bring lube.
You didn't put your laundry in the dryer.
Then just put it in the... Like, why do people fight about that? Just put it in the fucking dryer.
I couldn't tell you. Oh, no, we're fighting because you keep leaving the cupboard doors open.
Just close them. Who cares?
Yeah, just close them.
I'm just saying, if you, like, why would you get mad at that? Or people who are like, you didn't take the trash out. What? First of all, why aren't you taking the trash out?
Yeah.
And granted, I think we don't fight about that because I take the trash out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Toilet seat. Oh, I sit down when I pee here a lot. Our toilets, this is so random. Our toilets,
the worst toilet
they're
seats.
very short and they're very small.
So it's a small target far away from you.
Yeah. It's just not my favorite. Like, if we had better toilets, I would stand to pee more at home. But I sit to pee on those toilets a lot because I'm like...
It's not worth it.
Yeah. We have the worst... Like, fuck. If we owned this house, the first thing I would do is rip all of the toilets out and replace them with better toilets.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Immediately.
And the sink.
And the sink. The kitchen sink.
Oh my god, the sink is like
I would get rid of the kitchen
small.
sink immediately.
Anyways, by Grace and Banners Fallen, Bayard passed the coin between his thumb and forefinger. It was thoroughly unnerving to feel the metal squish.
Whoa. Hold up. I did not listen to any of that, so you're going to read it again for me.
Oh.
Joe G says sitting when you pee reduces your chance of prostate cancer by double-digit percentages. Is that true?
How?
Because I am very at risk of prostate cancer.
How is that possible?
I am like as at risk of prostate cancer as a person can be without actually having prostate cancer currently. If that's true, I will never stand to pee again except at like sports events.
How would that be possible? Like, there's no way.
It might be that like standing to pee because your legs are closed, it might irritate your prostate because the like it like runs along it, the like tubes, right? There might be some validity to that.
We should ask John Green and Hank Green. They would know. They're very smart.
Hank Green, I know you don't know who I am, but should I be sitting down when I pee? I'm gonna send him that on TikTok.
Yeah.
But like seriously, I am very at risk. I'm very at risk of prostate cancer. So if that's true, I would much rather sit down to pee for the rest of my life than get prostate cancer. Because I'm probably going to get it anyway. But
stop it.
Will you read that again?
Stop it.
It's going to be in like 40 years. We'll be fine. I'm going to die of something. I might as well die of that.
Bayard pressed the coin between his thumb and forefinger. It was thoroughly unnerving to feel the metal squish.
Can you read that again?
Bayard pressed the coin between his thumb and forefinger. It was thoroughly unnerving to feel the metal squish.
Again?
Why? Bayard pressed the coin between his thumb and forefinger. It was thoroughly unnerving to feel the metal squish.
Okay, can you do it again, but give me like a horniness, you know?
Fuck off. He removed his thumb. The hard copper now clearly bore its print, reflecting the uncertain torchlight. That's very detailed. He felt chilled, as if he'd spent an entire night in a cellar. His stomach growled again.
Do we know who Baird is?
No.
Okay. Cool.
Want me to keep going?
No.
Very confused.
Someone's going to pay for us to listen to this, so.
Oh, right. Arzu is, like, determined. Okay, that's fair, that's fair.
James Ross says, hey, I caught up. Nerdy sounds like a voice actor. Yeah.
A voice actor director.
I'm used to it, just because Clarus auditions a lot more than I do, so I'm usually more director than auditioner these days. You get a lot more auditions than I do right now.
Lately I have, yeah.
Yeah. I'm not upset about it. I'm very proud of you. I'm very proud to be your husband, especially when you succeed. So I'm not mad.
Thank you.
I have a big audition next week. It's all good.
Appreciate it. That's fun. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I know. I have an in-person audition next week, chat.
Crazy.
I know.
Crazy.
I don't want it.
Yeah, that was weird. Okay, we're going to figure out the splits in the Discord. If you want to be part of that conversation, make sure you join the Discord.
You guys are.
Well, no, I've been trying to talk with
Y'all
Monkey
basically tell us what to do. I don't fucking pay attention to it.
No, we've been talking with the mods to figure out how many, like, splits it should be. Yeah, I feel like 6 is probably good enough. Like, it's not, like, that much larger, you know? Well, it is a little bit larger.
It's a little bit larger. Yeah, we can do 6. Have fun. Tell us what it is. The last battle is its own thing. That's the podcast. Bye, everybody. Thank you, mods.
Okay, bye.
Oh, Smut Corner.
Yeah.
Add a smut, really quickly, add smut to the book.
Add smut to the book.
We added so much smut to this book.
I know. That's why I'm like, do we really need any more smut?
Oh, you know what smut I want in the next book?
What?
The foursome that Tom, Moiraine, Swan, and Gareth have.
Oh, yeah, that's hot.
Yeah, there's some wife swapping.
Because they're swingers.
I think Moiraine and Swan use bonds of air to tie Gareth and Tom to chairs, and then they go to town on each other.
They just cuck them.
Yeah, and but it's a game. It's a fun game, right? So because you have to concentrate to keep the other person's man tied down.
Yeah.
And so they're both.
If you let it go by accident, then they get to join in.
So the first one to.
So they're trying to distract one another enough that they drop the weave.
Yeah, so they're 69ing, and the first one to lose control over their weaves. The other person's man gets to join first.
Gotcha. They're not allowed to tie it off. They have to maintain it.
Yeah, they have to maintain it.
Yeah, 100%. That actually.
Sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Ladycraft, thank you for that super chat.
Thank you for that super chat.
Bye, everybody.
We'll catch you not next week. Roleplay Relay is next week, and then the following week we'll catch you in 2 weeks.
3.
3 weeks.
A Memory of Light starts in 3 weeks.
Math.
Bye.
Bye, guys.